Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Rondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned.
Ridiculous.
Here's Brandon and Jeff.
Hello, and welcome to episode 58 of the Film Blurs. My name is Brandon Norwood, aka Hero Protagonist, aka the True Father of Joe's Kids, aka Papi Chulo, aka the Glizzy King, aka Mr. Krusty, aka the Lethal Protector, aka my biggest pet peeves is sports, because I don't like seeing grown men sweat on each other, aka I want a Subaru Outback so I can have mad strippers in the back giving shape-ups, a.k.a. Rough McGruff, a.k.a. D's Nuts, a.k.a. B-Wood, the Magnificent. And I'm joined here today, as always, by my co-host and friend.
Yo, it's Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. Uncle Jeffrey, a.k.a. J.O.T's Dynamite, a.k.a. Revengeman Button, a.k.a. He Who Remains, a.k.a. Penny Ruxpin, a.k.a. Jobu Tupaki, a.k.a. this motherfucker, a.k.a. to be determined. Yeah, we got...
All right, so let's get into some news, because there's been a lot of news since we've been gone. You know, I've been busy living my life and shit, you know what I mean? Gotta visit family and shit. Rage Against the Machine only comes once every 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Wu-Tang. Don't forget to throw Wu-Tang in there.
Shout out to Wu-Tang for putting out. Yeah. Shout out to Wu-Tang was cool, man. They put on a great show, but it wasn't Rage.
I've never seen Nas live before, so that was an experience. And I've never seen Busta live.
Oh, word! That was like my 5th time seeing him live.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, now I can retire. I can stop going out to fucking concerts and shit like that, because I'm too old for this shit.
Well, while we were gone, WB brought in Ezra Miller, sat him down,
Ezra Watch,
and said, "Yo, listen, if you don't get your shit together, this Flash movie's going right in the trash can. You saw what we did to Batgirl. We'll do the same to you." And that's when he was just like, no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna seek a mental health therapist. I'll do anything. So
I mean, good for them.
That's where we're at.
Good for them. Yeah, WB pretty much just put Ezra on his knees right across from Batgirl, facing each other. They shot Batgirl in the face, and it's like, you gonna tell us where the plans are? I was like, okay, I'll tell you where the plans are. Yeah, so yeah.
Just straight up was gangsta. Like, yo, listen, you could get your shit together, or you see what we did to this bitch, it's gonna happen to you now.
Yeah, I mean, all fun and games aside, like, good for them that they're getting the help that they need. It just took the possible destruction of their whole entire career to put that into light.
I'll be real with you. I really think after this Flash movie, they're gonna be done.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I'm gonna talk about Ezra.
Because who else is gonna want to work with them?
Yeah, and it's unless there is a total 100% swing in the other direction, like they may have to apply for sainthood in the future in order for them to have a career going forward, or that anything beyond indie. We talked about this last time. Anything beyond indie, no one's going to spend no real money on them.
Oh yeah, because let's say Flash comes out, Flash is a hit. If Flash is a hit and people love it, they ain't bringing him back or them back.
They'll do some sort of they can retcon anything nowadays.
Oh yeah. And listen, the public don't give a shit either.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So
yeah. So yeah, well,
moving,
good for Ezra.
What's
good
that?
for Ezra.
So moving on from that, D23 was over the weekend, and goddamn did they fucking announce
everything.
So much shit. Like I can't even keep up with all of it. And most of this was like, it was like a Friday night. I'm enjoying my Friday night. All these notifications kept coming through. I'm like, yo, why y'all doing this on a fucking Friday night? Saturday, as I'm getting ready to go see our main review, one of our main reviews, like all these notifications kept rolling in. I'm like, yo, y'all gotta stop doing this shit. Like, you know how Comic-Con, how they do it either Friday afternoon or Saturday before 2? That's how you guys need to do it. Because once it hits like 4 p.m. on a Saturday, like, yo, I'm trying to,
everybody's drunk. No one's checking Twitter besides, to fucking cruise on their exes or whatever like that. Yeah, like it's so much.
Listen, people are on Twitter. Twitter on weekends is used for shit talking and shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? Not for fucking news, dog.
Right. Shit talking shenanigans. That's the name of my new album.
So, the Lion King prequel / sequel is called Mufasa: The Lion King. Wishing Barry Jenkins the best of luck, because I mean, look, I love Barry Jenkins and I trust Barry Jenkins. I just don't trust Disney.
And here's the thing. People seem to love these live-action remakes, and I guess this is a live-action prequel of these animated films. I've never been the biggest fan of this shit.
There's only been two that have been better than the actual animated films. That's Cinderella and Jungle Book.
Right. Beyond that is like, okay, I get what you're doing. Get your money, but I'm not feeling it at all. So, like I said...
I mean, we have a live-action remake to get into in our main review, and I was like, after watching the live-action remake, I was like, you know what, let me watch the cartoon. And I was just like, okay, all right. Yeah.
So...
they also announced, they showed Friday night, and we'll talk about this in Trailer Talk, they had the world premiere of the Little Mermaid trailer Friday night. We will talk about it in Trailer Talk.
All right, yeah, we have,
because
white people will be staying mad. White people will be staying mad at that. Well, not even, like, I wouldn't say white people, white men of a certain age.
Women too.
Yeah, just keep on staying mad.
They released the first poster for David Lowery's new film, because he did a Disney film before. He did Pete's Dragon, and just last year he put out The Green Knight. So I was surprised to see that, Peter and Wendy had a poster ready, and it's coming out next year straight to Disney Plus. And I'm like, man, that's fucked up, y'all. David Lowery is one of our best working filmmakers, and y'all are like, yeah, you send your shit to Disney Plus.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I'm looking at some of the turnaround times for a lot of those movies right now. Like, 3,000 Years of Longing is already on demand.
That's George Miller.
No, but I'm just saying, like, the turnaround time from theater to streaming has gotten so fast. It's I kind of get what Disney's doing. Like, just why don't we just skip the middleman? But also, it's kind of bullshit. Like, let it play in a theater.
I mean, it depends on the movie too. Like, 3,000 Years of Longing is on streaming just because nobody wants to see it in theaters, and we said that. Like, this movie, nobody's gonna go see this movie.
Right. When I saw that pop up today,
I love the movie, but that's not a movie for mass audiences.
Right. But even bigger films are going real fast, and it's like, all right, it's kind of disheartening.
Peter Pan and Wendy, David Lowery straight up said it's his best movie, which is saying a lot.
That's bold.
Because my man's came out the gate swinging with Ain't Them Body Saints, followed it up with Pete's Dragon. He did what's that movie with Robert Redford? Old Man and the Gun.
Oh yeah. I forgot he did that.
He did, Green Knight. Like it ain't like he don't have like he has hitters, man, like multiple hitters.
Yeah, he's got hitters critically. But like
Pete's Dragon was a hit.
Okay, Pete's Dragon, and then was Green Knight, did that make bank?
Yeah, man, that made fucking 80 million on a fucking I think 40 or 20 million budget. I think it was 20.
But for the most part, he's not putting out blockbusters. He's putting out great cinema. And
shit! All right, so that's 3 live action remakes because I forget Pete's Dragon was a
cartoon,
animated
right,
film.
Yeah,
I still never seen it, and after seeing the live action remake, I'm like, well, why bother? Because it ain't gonna be half as good as this shit. And then Saturday it was the big Marvel panel, and out of Marvel we got the confirmation that Matt Shankman is directing Fantastic Four, and at this point I'm just like, you know what? I would rather you guys put out Josh Trank's Fantastic Four, like his version, because I ain't saying it'll be good. It probably won't be good, but I'll tell you what, it'll be much more interesting than whatever we're going to get from Matt Shankman. What's that?
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
And then they announced again. They keep re-announcing shit. I'm like, yo, you guys announced this like 3 years ago, so stop announcing it. Like they're like, yeah, Armor Wars, and I'm like, bro, y'all announced that shit like 4 years ago. Like I'm not getting excited for some shit you already announced.
I don't care. Like I'm so beat down by Marvel and Star Wars that I don't care. All right, cool. Armor Wars, awesome. Secret Wars, awesome, cool. Thunderbolts, cool.
Nah, fuck that, because they announced the team for Thunderbolts, and I'm like, yo, get that shit the fuck out of here. Kevin Feige's like, since there's no more Avengers, we definitely needed a team, and why not a team of anti-heroes? I'm like, yo, the Avengers didn't break up. They're all doing their own fucking thing right now.
They're avenging separately, but they're still like the Avengers. They still clock in upstate New York,
Like that was bullshit. I was like, man, now y'all just pulling shit out your ass, because literally the post credits, one of the mid credit scene in Shang-Chi was them all on a teleconference call saying, yo, welcome to the Avengers, Shang-Chi, and I'm just so. Y'all can't even get your own fucking shit straight now.
Yeah, but I don't.
And the Thunderbolts, I saw the roster, and I'm just like, well, who gives a shit?
Nobody. Nobody.
So
I
the
don't
roster
care.
is Ghost from the second Ant-Man and the Wasp, and she's been gone since that. Hasn't been seen since. So I'm just like, she's still alive? The fuck?
Well, I thought they cured her. Didn't they cure her? Yeah. So
yeah. So how she still have her powers? Who the fuck knows? Yeah, right? You're just pulling shit out your ass. Elena, because she's the new Black Widow, which I'm just like, sure, I guess.
I mean,
Red Guardian, which I was like, that makes sense. Who else is on the roster?
Winter Soldier.
Well, let's save him for last.
Okay.
Taskmaster, which Taskmaster also doesn't make sense, because if you saw Black Widow, she was also de-brainwashed, so why would she be still a bad guy? I fucking don't know. And Winter Soldier, which also doesn't make sense, because he just had a whole ass TV show learning to be partners with Sam. Like, there's a new Captain America movie. Every single Captain America movie, Bucky is by Captain America's side. So why the fuck isn't Bucky in Captain America New World Order? Shit makes no fucking sense.
They'll put some sort of watered down, fucking lukewarm concepts in there to make it all sort of make sense, which is fine. It's like, this seems like Avengers community service. That's what this means. This seems like parole. This
seems like a waste of fucking everybody's time and resources. Honestly, like y'all. This is the shit you put on Disney Plus, not in the theaters.
Right. And speaking of stuff that should be in the theaters but is on Disney Plus, do you want to talk about Secret Invasion?
That's for trailer talk.
That's for trailer talk. All right.
Fucking yeah, because they dropped the trailer for that. Also, we found out that Allegra De Fontaine is the Nick Fury of the Thunderbolts, and that's why she's been popping up in all these fucking
these post-credit scenes
properties and shit like that. And I'm just like, well, y'all probably should have established that, like you established Nick Fury, where Fury's like, hey, I'm building a team, come join up. She's just going around saying like, man, I'm doing some shit. You don't know what I'm doing.
I think in one of those dumb movies or TV shows, she does say she's building a team. Doesn't she say that at the end?
No. She doesn't say. No? She doesn't. No.
I mean, that's how much I care, pay attention to this Phase 4 shit. But yeah, okay.
So, on top of that, what else did they announce? They showed a trailer for the Marvels. They showed a trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Paul Rudd said this is the biggest Ant-Man movie. It's super different from the first two, and it'll lead right into Kang Dynasty. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, because Kang's the fucking main antagonist of this movie, so why wouldn't it? Like they showed the trailer. They showed at Comic-Con for Guardians 3. They showed here, yada yada yada. The only other thing that really got me excited, and we'll talk about it during trailer talk, is Werewolf by Night. Okay. And we'll talk and again, all the shit that you guys are doing for Disney Plus, I'm like, this is shit you should be doing in the movies instead of making, the fan service that you're asking people to pay $20 for.
Right. But at least we're getting more interesting stuff on Disney Plus. At least we're getting interesting stuff on Disney Plus.
So moving away from Marvel, like the only other big thing out of D23, well, besides this Nintendo Switch game looks hard as shit, where you play as Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy, where you're trying to save the universe and shit like that. It looks crazy.
So it's not Kingdom Hearts?
No.
Okay.
Because Minnie's not in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, because I don't know anything about this video game. I don't even have a Switch.
Yeah, my brother has a Switch. I told him, I'm gonna take that shit and I'm gonna play that game when that shit comes out. That game looks hard as fuck. I can't even remember what it's called, but I just remember watching the trailer. I'm like, oh, y'all made a game for little kids and grown adults, so congrats there. Yeah, the only other thing was they showed 6 scenes from Avatar: The Way of Water, and everybody was just like, yeah, the Marvel shit went over like a wet fart, because nothing here was really new besides the Black Panther footage, because they showed a few scenes from Black Panther and people were super impressed by that. But the Avatar stuff is what blew the doors off. Is like everybody's just like, those 6 scenes they show were fucking amazing. I'm just like, all right, so if this is a T2 situation where Cameron's just going all in, or it's just like a Top Gun situation where I don't like the first one, but the second one's a masterpiece, then like
I'm here for it.
Yeah. I will say this: if Avatar 2 ends up being like fucking as good as people are saying it's gonna be, because some people in the industry, noted people in the industry, have seen it and said it's better than the first one by miles.
Okay, good, because I didn't like the first one. Like I didn't hate it, but
I don't either. I don't either.
Yeah. So when it comes to these sequels, I mean, Top Gun Maverick proves it. Like maybe I just need to shut the fuck up and watch.
Well, I'm always ready to give everything its fair day in court. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna just come out and shit on you unless you're one of those fucking Marvel Sony movies where I'm just like, oh, I know this is gonna be shit from the jump.
Or Zack Snyder.
Yeah. So if this is as good as people are saying it is, I'm just gonna come out and say for the next Avatar sequels, if any studios has anything coming up against Avatar 3, Avatar 4, and Avatar 5,
just keep it
move
home.
that shit.
Keep it
just
home.
Move that shit right now. Fucking WB saw the writing on the wall and pulled Shazam, and now hearing these reactions over the weekend, I'm like, yo, yeah, good, because like I was like, yo, that's unfair to Shazam, dog. Like, don't do that shit.
Right.
Also, James Cameron straight up lied.
How did James Cameron lie?
He did an interview a few months ago, and he's just like, yeah, I think I might pass off Avatar 4 and 5 to somebody else because there's other movies I want to make, and like 2 and 3 have been just really rough. And then over the weekend, they showed the footage, he came back on stage. He's like, yo, guess what? We started shooting Avatar 4 last month.
Of course,
I was like, you lying ass nigga.
Like you knew he was lying when he said it. When he's not going to. James Cameron is a perfectionist, right? He's not gonna let anyone else touch his baby. That fucking Avatar is 100% his, man. He's not letting anyone. Okay, they can have Avatar 6 or 7. When he's too tired and he's doing, Titanic 2 or whatever like that. But like, he's not letting anyone handle this franchise just yet.
Well, from what I understand, because in that interview where he was like, I don't know if I want to do 4 or 5, and he's like, especially 4, because 4 is going to be a whopper of a movie. Like, it's going to be hard. And I'm just like, I'm guessing 4 is the one that's going to take place on the moon, where we're going to like the moon of Pandora.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a couple of these that are going to take place like on other planets surrounding Pandora. So,
I mean, he's world building. So,
I mean, dude straight up said we only saw like 20% of Pandora in the first movie. So,
right. And that's just the planet of Pandora, not to mention like the universe and so we literally could be seeing 20 sequels if they wanted to, or like things in the Avatar world.
I mean, he said eventually. I don't know if it's going to be the next one or 4 and 5, but eventually Jake and Neytiri stop being the main protagonist, and it moves on to their kids taking over the franchise.
Okay. Hey,
which is fine because I like. Listen, you can only do so much with characters before you're like, maybe we should try something new with different characters.
Right. So I'm here for it. Let's see what it do. Let's get to the second one first before we start talking.
I ain't saying anything. Like everybody, like there's people I trust who like. Big notable people I trust who've seen it and are just like, it's better than the first one. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
Right.
I don't doubt that, but I just don't.
Right.
I don't want to think 4 movies from now. I just want to get to this second movie. You know.
All right. Well, keeping it, we're going to move on to our last bit of news, which is we are in award season now. We're about to watch a bunch of sad white people movies. You know what I'm saying? Blockbusters are on there. We only got like 3 more blockbusters left, right?
We got Wakanda Forever. What else?
Black Adam, Avatar, and I guess Halloween, right?
Is Halloween a blockbuster though?
It's a franchise. It's a big franchise that makes money, baby.
All right, I suppose, but yeah. So we have 4.
And then so. Here we are knee deep in fucking because the festivals just started. So Venice just wrapped up and gave it the Golden Lion, which is the top award at Venice. Went to Laura Patrios. If you know her, she's did Citizen 4. She's done a lot of notable documentaries, and her newest documentary took home the top prize called All the Blood and I forget what it's called, but it's like All the Blood and something like that. It's about this artist. She's a renowned New York photographer who got addicted to Oxy because of everybody has done.
It's the devil.
Yeah, everybody has done their little movie or documentary or TV series about the Sackler family and how evil they are, and rightfully so, because they're the ones who pushed oxy in pharmaceuticals. Like, they're responsible for the opioids. You know what I'm saying?
It's called All the Beauty and the Bloodshed.
Yeah, so they're saying that is one of the best movies of the year, and you'll be hard pressed to see a better documentary this year. And I'm just like, well, yeah, look who it's from. Luca Guadagnino's new movie premiered and has been getting raves. Bones and All. It's a cannibalistic love story about two teenagers starring our boy Timothy Chalamet and up and coming actress. Oh man, what was she in? Taylor Russell? What the fuck is she in, man? But she's been in shit. And it's scored by Trent and Atticus. Another movie scored by Trent and Atticus that premiered at Venice is called Empire Light.
Waves. She was in Waves.
Yeah, Waves. All right. She's a great actress. She's a great actress.
Right.
Empire Light is Sam Mendes' new movie, and Roger Deakins photographed it. I saw the trailer, and I'm just like, oh man, this movie looks fucking amazing. Like, we're getting some tours this year for award season where I'm like, oh, this dude's back.
Right.
The movie I'm most excited to see, which people have been fucking praising, and I'm glad, is Todd Field. After 15 years, my man Todd Field's back with Tare. And if you've seen the previews for Tare, you're probably sitting there like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, I'm with you, and that makes me excited to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited for Tare. Because his last movie was Little Children, right?
Yo, I read the Variety review for Little Children. And
Right.
This motherfucker, I got a paragraph in. This motherfucker was like, in the bedroom's a masterpiece. I'm like, yeah, of course it is. And then they're like, but Little Children was a misfire. And that's when I stopped reading. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, Little Children may not be as good as In the Bedroom, but to call it a misfire? Are you fucking snorting cocaine?
Well, that's not even cocaine talk, man. That's fucking meth talk. That's like 3 days up. You can't tell up from down. Because Little Children is fantastic. It's I don't want to call it a masterpiece, but it's not a misfire at all.
No, not at all. Yo, if I only made 2 movies and those were my 2 movies, like, yo, nobody's touching you.
Right,
yeah, nobody's touching you. Yeah, but I'm so glad to hear everybody even the review was praising Tare. Before I even got to that point in the review where I was like, nah, fuck out of here. Everybody's in love with Tare, and like, I'm glad, because it looks surreal, it looks hallucinogenic, very orniric, like the whole shit may be a fever dream.
Like it feels like it feels like Whiplash on acid. That's the vibe I got from it.
I'm gonna be real with you. I really thought Todd Field was never gonna make a movie again, because it was just been so long and we haven't heard from him. Like, I thought he was just like, I'm gonna fuck off and just do other shit now.
I mean, maybe he was. Maybe this was like the thing. It was like, you know what? Let's get the gang together. Let's do one more heist.
I mean, look, man. They saying Cate Blanchett gives a career best performance, which is saying something. So,
right. All right. Well.
Yeah, man, this festival's been hard, man. We've Pearl premiered, and people are loving Pearl. And
good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad people are loving Pearl.
Come to find out, after Pearl premiered, Ty West came out. He's like, "Yo, I want to show you guys something." He showed the trailer for the next installment of the X series.
So this is a sequel or a prequel?
Sequel. So
okay.
It takes place in the Hollywoods in the 80s. I ain't watch it. I ain't watch the trailer because I'm gonna let you. I was like, let me see Pearl first before I get excited for the next one. It's called Maxine with 3 X's.
I love it. I've said this before. We've discussed this before. I've not been, or never have been, the biggest Ty West fan. All right, but his last couple of movies have really turned me around. All right, so I'm excited.
Well, he was like Todd Field, because like for a minute he was also gone. He was off the radar, and now he comes back. He said, "Hey, I made this slasher X," and we're all like, "Cool." And then after X premiered, like that weekend, he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I made this prequel. It's gonna come soon." We're all like, "Oh shit, all right." And now the prequel's about to drop literally this Friday, and now, oh yeah,
I made the sequel.
Made a sequel. Like now, like once Maxine drops, watch, we'll be like, "Yo, guess what? It's another one." Look, and you know what? I'm not gonna be mad, because everybody's been saying Pearl is just as good as X. It's not better, but just as good, which makes me happy.
I'll take just as good. I'll take
if
it.
Maxine is on the quality of the first two, and he has another one up his ass that he's gonna pull out, fine by me. Keep me happy. Keep me. This is exciting to me. Like, this is exciting.
And I love the fact that we're getting sort of secret movies.
Yes.
You know, I love the idea that, like, surprise. You know, we just decided to do our fucking art, and we didn't put out a press release for it. Here's this thing. Enjoy it. Happy birthday.
So, also, what's our man's name? The Donahue. What's Donahue? Which Donahue brother is it? I think it's Martin McDonough.
Fucking not Garda.
Hold on.
I'll look it up. We're fucking up with names today.
Oh man, yo, listen. It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. We've been away.
Yeah, it's in Bruges. Yeah. So
okay.
It's Martin. Yeah.
So Martin is back with the Banshees of very Irish name, Inisherin. Or Aishirin. Forgive me, I can't pronounce it. It's an Irish ass name. But anyway, they're saying it's his best movie, because this also premiered at Venice.
And that, like, the fucking hyperbole off these people is off the charts. Like, this is if this is his best movie, like, in Bruges, 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, like, the dude makes amazing adult, hilarious, poignant films.
7 Psychopaths, baby.
Right? So, like, I don't doubt them. It's just like, oh man, like, will my head explode? Because fucking In Bruges is so good, it turned me into a Colin Farrell fan, because I already liked him. I liked him as an actor, but I was like, all right, this motherfucker's just movie star, right?
Yeah,
like, it's like he's a straight up movie star. I saw In Bruges, I was like, oh, this nigga's an actor.
Yeah,
and that's when I really started respecting. And now I'm the biggest Colin Farrell fan. Like, I'll even watch his Hollywood shit just because I know he'll give us, like, a fucking After Yang or some shit like that. That's why I love
watching his Hot Ones interview, because his Hot Ones interview, the dude's down to earth, and he's just like, yo, listen, everybody's like, oh, you do one for yourself and one for them. He's like, no. I do, everything I do is because I love doing it, because I love acting and I love doing different things. He's like, doesn't matter if I'm making a big Hollywood blockbuster or a small indie film like After Yang, or making something like The Batman. If I believe in it, I'm gonna do it.
Right, and it shows, man. Like, I was just watching The Gentleman a couple of weeks ago. I was like, yo, I wish The Coach had his own fucking movie.
Yeah. Speaking of, it bums me out that we haven't gotten Operation Fortune yet, just because of the whole Ukrainian situation, because the Ukrainians are the villains in that movie.
Yeah, but, like, I'm not going to get into politics on this.
But that sucks, because that movie was supposed to come out in March. And remember, we saw the trailer. We're like, yo!
Right. We were like, fucking Guy Ritchie's back, motherfucker. He never went nowhere.
And so finally, because I mean, there's so many films that premiered. Like, this is the first in a long time where, like, upcoming award season, I'm like, yo, I want to see everything. Because usually these awards movies, I'm just like, no, we gotta go see this. I gotta go sit through the fucking 4 hour film.
let me watch this Magic Negro movie.
So, two movies before we move on. I want to talk about Saturday night. The God of Cinema, Steven Spielberg, premiered his new movie, The Fablemans, and had niggas crying on their knees, crying. Just broke them in two emotionally. I'm like, yeah, Spielberg, break them emotionally.
That's what Spielberg does, man. Like he is a master at fucking getting in your heart and just playing you like a fucking piano.
Well, we got to talk about the trailer during trailer talk, because I remember I watched that trailer and nigga, I was sitting in the parking lot because I had to go to I was going to another movie which I'll talk about in a few minutes, and I was sitting there in the parking lot fucking crying my eyes out. I'm like, oh my god. And two more movies. So The Fablemans and what's my man's name? Alejandro Inarritu. He premiered his new movie, which is going to be in theaters and Netflix. For the first time ever, it got panned.
A word?
Yeah. People said Bardo, which is, I don't know what the full title is, but everybody's just calling it Bardo. Bardo is his version of Roma, and people are like, it is up his own ass. It is just it's bad when one of the most pretentious film critics ever, I'm not gonna name who he is, you know who I'm talking about, Jeff.
I mean, yeah,
even he's like, this shit is 3 hours of the biggest pretentious shit I've ever seen. I'm like, this is coming from you? And people are like, what's that?
No, it's just like everyone has like, eventually all these artists, eventually they have to do what I call the sucking your own dick movie. And then Bardo seems to be Alejandro's sucking my own dick movie.
I mean, but that's almost all of his movies. Like, I love Almost Paros, but like the only other movie by him I really fuck with is The Revenant. But like every single one of his movies, I'm just like, God damn, bro, you are up your own fucking ass. And to hear that he basically made Roma, except 30 minutes longer, like Cuarón understands how to engage his audiences, even when he's making a small personal art house film that's slow moving. Dude, Inarritu doesn't know how to engage audiences like that. I'm sorry, he just doesn't. He doesn't.
Well, I can't wait to see this dumpster fire.
Hey, listen, I'm let me know how it is, because I'm not watching Bardo. Y'all lost me at 3 hours pretentious art house film. Like, there's a motherfucker I read who said, I fell asleep for 40 minutes of this movie and missed nothing.
Whoa. Oh, wow.
Openly admitted I fell asleep. Another person said, this movie would be one of the best movies ever made if it was a whole hour shorter. Like, if this was 2 hours instead of 3. And I'm just like, boy. Oh boy.
Oh my.
Glass Onion also premiered recently, and people have said it's bigger and better than Knives Out, which is funny that it's bigger because it had the same budget.
Look, it better be all those things for the $400 million that Netflix for the $450 million that Netflix paid for those two movies. I would expect it would at least be as good, if not better.
Also, it has come out that Rian Johnson begged Netflix to work with the theaters and giving it a month-long run before it goes to Netflix. And Netflix was just like, man, no.
No. Why would we do that? We're Netflix. Fuck you.
I was just like, so you guys
That's
don't
my
want
Netflix
to
voice.
recoup that $450 million y'all fucking spent on not even the production, because that's not the production. That was just for the fucking rights.
Right.
The shit that
Oh,
Amazon spent $1 billion on the Lord of the Rings show, and even they were like, yo, y'all niggas are tripping.
Right? Like Netflix. Or I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about Netflix movies, but I'm going to talk about one Netflix movie in particular. In my what are they watching? It's like, what are you doing? What are you like? Why? How are you putting fucking $450 million in the Glass Onion and not putting it in the theaters, right? But also, you're spending X amount on all these bullshit fucking day watches and fucking end of the roads and shit like that. It's like, yo.
I cannot wait till we get to what have you watched, because I'm going to talk about Me Time.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you
I
saw
saw
it?
that too. I saw it too.
Okay, so that's going to be part of our main review. Fuck that. That'll be part of our main review, because
let's talk about fucking Me Too. Oh, Jesus. We got to do a fucking time machine with that movie. We got to a goddamn fucking time machine with that piece of shit.
Yo. Netflix, we don't give a fuck about money. Like
we don't give.
Or Netflix, we're a Ponzi scheme.
Netflix be lighting crack pipes with $100 bills.
Oh shit! Yo, these motherfuckers are like $20 billion in debt, and they're just like, what? Make a profit? You trying to tell Ryan Johnson? You want us to make a profit off the $450 million we paid you? Why would we do that?
How come we're a failing business? I don't understand. Our business plan is so. Look at our business model. We spend money, and then eventually we'll make money. That's how it works.
Oh my god.
We're Netflix.
Ryan, I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, you definitely, Knives Out, and you deserve better. Especially hearing like, this is better than Knives Out. Like, you deserve better, my nigga. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's all I can say. It's like, I'm sorry.
This is what was going to happen. All right, me and you are going to rent a theater for a day. And just watch. We're gonna invite all our friends by, and we're gonna stream Glass Onion for all of our friends, just so it's seen the way it's supposed to be seen. All right. That's Ryan.
Shit.
Ryan, if you're listening to this, dude, you're invited to come by. We'll do some talk. We'll do a talk back. Because $450 million. That's put it in the theaters. That's preposterous.
Oh my god!
They did the fucking jowl shake. Oh, no, that's
that's another one we'll get into it during trailer talk, because the trailer premiered. But like, damn, dog, yo. Also, Blonde premiered, and we're not going to talk about the reactions to Blonde because we're seeing that literally
Monday, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Bros premiered. People love Bros.
I love the trailer
we need to talk
for
about
Bros
offline because Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll talk about offline. Right. But Bros is being loved, and there's a movie. Last movie we'll talk about is Chevalier. Chevalier stars Kevin Harrison Jr. and they're saying he might get nominated. And I'm like, good. This dude's been putting in work, man.
Right.
Chevalier is written by Stefani Robinson, and if you don't know who she's like one of the writers on Atlanta, and probably written some of the best episodes of Atlanta. And it's directed by Stephen Williams, who's an up-and-coming director who's also been very good. I can't wait to see Chevalier. Like, this is the first award season where I'm just like, oh, we're gonna get some entertaining art.
Well, I can't wait for the Oscars because it might actually be interesting this year.
Yeah.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, for movies we actually give a fuck about. So,
all right, so that's the end of that. So now we're done with news. Now it's my turn to open up and say, Brandon, what have you been watching?
What are you watching?
all right, well, I've watched a lot of shit. That's why I want to run through this real quick. And let's start with the extended cut. I'm going to start with movies this time. We're doing unconventional this week. Let's start with Spider-Man No Way Home, the extended cut.
Okay.
Outside of a few extra jokes and an extra scene with Matt Murdock, I can't remember what was added, to be quite honest with you. It's 11 minutes of new footage.
Cool. I mean, it's a great movie as it is. So the fact that they added 11 more minutes, that's cool. But it was not. I'm not gonna say it was perfect, but it was fucking, for what it was pretty perfect.
Like, the only thing I can remember besides the extra Daredevil scene was they added there's a new after credit scene, and the new after credit scene is basically like a little video yearbook made by Betty Brant. And I was like, oh, that's cute, and it makes sense that they would do that because they're seniors graduating.
Okay.
Peter's not in any of it because, if you've seen the movie, nobody knows who Peter Parker is. So.
Right. I mean, it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll move on to, I use a free Redbox code and I got a free night rental. My brother and his girlfriend and basically my sister-in-law haven't seen it, so we all sat down and watched Jurassic World Dominion. We watched the extended cut, and there's shit that was deleted where I was just like, you guys needed this in the movie to make the character work and explain things a little better.
Really? Does
it make it a better movie? Sorta, but it's still a piece of shit.
So the extended footage and like the character development, what's the character that actually gets developed? Who's?
Maisie.
Well, that's the clone daughter, right?
The girl. Like, you understand why she's so angry and why she's such an asshole in this. Like, there's so many new scenes with her at the beginning where I'm just like, you guys needed this shit. There's a scene, that scene where Chris Pratt ropes that dinosaur
for no fucking reason. Yeah,
it's explained in this. You remember Rain Delacourt, that evil fucking poacher?
Yeah.
He's hunting the dinosaurs and selling them, and Chris Pratt is working with a branch of the government that finds these animals and ropes them to safe locations where the poachers won't find them.
Okay, so why did they cut that shit out?
Yeah, I'm saying. And then it leads to a whole ass standoff between the two government agents, Chris Pratt and Rain and his band of poachers.
All of that.
It's almost like a Western.
All of that would have made that film
much better.
Because like, the first half hour is just jumping around, Chris Pratt doing cool dino shit that doesn't make any sense.
Yes. They also added in the prologue that we saw before F9. The prologue actually makes sense because you get whatever that dinosaur was fighting the T-Rex.
Right.
That's paid off at the end when the T-Rex and that dinosaur fight again at the end. And I was just like, yeah, y'all, all this shit you guys cut out, you probably should have left in. I mean, the movie's already 2.5 hours. What's another 15 fucking minutes by that point?
Who made that decision to cut out all the story beats or all the things that would flush out the actual movie and make it make sense and give us a connection to it besides nostalgia in exchange for locusts? Who made that decision?
I'm gonna be real with you. All the locust shit is still in there and it's still bad. But there's a character moment where Alan's on the dig and he goes up to these two girls. He's like, "Look how rare this dinosaur skull is," and they're like, "No, who cares? Look at this. There's dinosaurs fighting each other for real right now. Why are we here?" And I'm like, these two girls have a point.
Right.
They do have a point. Yeah. So like, look, it's not a good movie. I'm not like, I will never say this. It still fucking sucks.
Never, ever,
but
ever.
like, at least
It could be a better movie.
Yes. Because I've said this once and I'll say it again. Very rarely have I seen an extended cut or a director's cut that was worse than the theatrical cut.
I mean, yeah.
Moving on. Jeff, did you watch Samaritan?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so we'll save that. Did you watch Look Both Ways?
Yes, I did. But we
we'll save that.
We don't need look both ways for the main review. We can just talk about that shit.
All right, well, let's get into it now then. Look Both Ways. Listen, I think it's clever that they're trying to do a multiverse movie with a love story and like a teen romance movie, but like it's executed in the most cliched, ham-fisted way possible. Like I didn't care half the time. I was just like, who gives a shit?
It's fine. I will never have to watch it again. Here's my thing.
It's sloppily written.
Here's my thing. In both scenarios, like I'm gonna spoil the movie for you. Sorry. She ends up okay. You know?
Yeah.
And it just seems like I don't really care. There's no stakes.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no stakes. And like the comedy, it falls flat. It works as a romance. Like I kind of cared about the relationships and shit like that. But honestly, she's an asshole for the second half of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially to Danny Ramirez. I was just like, he's the father of your child and he's in love with you, and you're just gonna be like, man, I want to fuck this other dude instead, and you should go fuck some other chick. Right. And then he does, and then she's just like, man, why are you with this girl?
It's like, bitch, because you, like, I've tried. Like, I wanted to get together, but you don't want to, blah, 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 blah. You want to live with your fucking parents.
I will say the only reason I watched this was because I like looking at Lily Reinhart. She's a great actress, and she's gorgeous. But the real winner of this was Danny Ramirez. And Danny Ramirez is having a great year because he was in Top Gun Maverick. And he was at D23 over the weekend because he was in, you may not remember, but he was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He was
one of the
dude helping out Sam.
Right.
And now they announced at D23 he's going to be the new Falcon.
Okay, that's cool.
So shout out to Danny Ramirez, man, because you're a good actor, and I'm glad I love seeing like good minority actors get their due.
Right. And like I said, Look Both Ways. It's fine. It's not good, but it's not horrible. Your mileage may vary. I don't know. Like it's not even good for a romantic comedy.
No, it's not. No, because you're not invested in the romance just because the main character is just an all-around asshole. Which is a shame because Lily Reinhart did produce this too, and I'm just like, oh, baby. But then again, we should have known better. You know why?
Why? Netflix,
baby.
Yeah, so Look Both Ways.
So
Netflix.
I'm going to get into this Bollywood movie I saw in IMAX 3D over the weekend. I will never see another Bollywood movie in a theater. At least, I'll take that back. I'll never see another Bollywood movie on opening weekend.
Oh, how packed was it?
It was super packed, and just like us, Indian people don't know how to act.
We don't. Look, is it a brown person thing? Is it?
Hey, gotta be, because you know what, man. I remember going to see a movie, like a big movie in the Mexico, and there's a lot of like Puerto Ricans and Mexicans and Dominicans, and I was just like, oh boy, and yeah. So we don't know how to act. Minority, yeah, we just don't know how to act. Brahmastra Part 1, Shiva. It was in IMAX 3D. I want to first say this, and this was what bothered me a lot. This is a Bollywood movie. Why the fuck does the action and the 3D and the CG look better than fucking Marvel, which has more than half the budget of this shit?
Because they care. I was talking to a friend this weekend about horror movies. It's like, yeah, I won't watch anything that's made in America when it comes to horror movies because we don't fucking care. If you want good horror movies, you gotta go to Spain or France or Korea or China, anywhere but here. Same thing with the Bollywood films. They fucking care.
Well, we're gonna get into a horror movie, American horror movie, and in our main review, but yeah, Brahmastra, like, I didn't give a fuck. Like, the songs aren't, like, the action's cool. I think the story's cool. The world building's cool. I do want to see part 2 because part 2, it ends on, like, a big reveal, and I was just like, oh, that is cool. But this whole movie's predicated on a love story, and I was just like, I don't give a shit about this love story. I could give a fuck less about this love story. Like, the only reason why I was invested in this love story, well, even remotely, was because the dude was handsome, and the girl is one of the hottest women I've ever seen. Like, I don't know who this actress is. I've never seen her before, but she is fucking gorgeous, dog. Her name is Alia Bhatt. And Bhatt is spelled B-H-A-T-T.
How do you spell Alia?
Alia is A-L-I-A. And the main character, Shiva, because this is Shiva's movie, because his name's in the title, is played by Ranbir Kapoor. It disappointed me to find out they're actually married in real life, because I was like, yo, I'm about to hop on a plane to India and fucking propose to this shit.
You're trying to spit some game?
Hell yeah. Like, Jeff's Googling a picture of her now, and you'll hear his reaction a little bit. But yeah, it's basically like their Marvel movie, and it's cool, man. It just sucked to see the little Asian kid die. I was like, damn, y'all, the only Asian kid in this movie, he gets like fucking murked. I was just like, that's fucked. And he had some cool ass powers too.
I mean, she's pretty. She's really pretty.
You see?
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
But I want to see. Honestly, I want to see a romantic comedy. It doesn't matter in like whatever language with ugly people. Like, I'm sick of seeing pretty people fuck. Or let me take that back. I'm never gonna get sick of watching pretty people fuck, but I want to watch some ugly people fuck.
I mean, the best part of this was seeing the Avatar trailer in 3D, because I will never get tired of watching that trailer in IMAX 3D while smacked. But yeah, man, you know that trailer I sent you for that Bollywood movie?
Yeah. Was that on there?
I sent you that because I was in the theater watching that, and that was the first preview they showed, and I was just like, what the fuck is this?
So it seems like a Bollywood version of fucking John Wick meets The Departed, meets all this other shit. I don't know. I can't pronounce what the movie's called, but in the trailer, and this is just a fucking trailer, dude slit another dude's neck with a car window.
It was broken, so he's using the shards of the car door window
and just dudes
slice it. And I saw that shit, and I started laughing my ass off. I was like, "That is so ridiculous."
What is this fucking movie? They care, even the ridiculous bullshit.
And then,
they
like,
care.
the songs. You know, Bollywood songs are lively and like almost like you could listen to them on your own. Right. Listening to this. The songs in this, I was like, dog, this sounds like the throat singing they're doing in Dune. Like, that sounds ugly. The songs are fucking...
It sounded like
I need to shower after hearing those songs.
It sounded like Indian nu metal.
Yeah. So I guess look out for... I guess we'll do when that drops... We'll do a review for that.
Yeah, man, that looks fucking hard as shit. It looks over the fucking top.
All right. So I'm gonna combine these last two movies because they both star Hilary Swank, and it will lead right into my TV shit.
Okay.
Because there's a connection all here. I want to review first Fatale. For those of you who don't know, Fatale came out right around Christmas, same time as Wonder Woman, during the pandemic, where nobody could go to a theater, and it was like one of two movies to see. It was this and Wonder Woman 1984. Fatale stars Michael Ealy and Hilary Swank. Michael Ealy's a successful businessman, and him and his wife are kind of distant, and he goes on a business trip with his co-partner of his sports agency, which is Mike Coulter. And Mike Coulter takes his ring and he's like, yo, tonight you're single. And some dude's at the bar flirting with Hilary Swank, and she's like, nah, get the fuck out of here. And then she turns to Michael Ealy, and he's just being like awkward because he's like, I'm not trying to flirt or nothing, and he's just, I've been there, nigga. Like you just trying to hang out. You're not trying to like pick up a woman. And she's attracted to him because of his awkwardness, and she's like, you want to dance? And they end up dancing and fucking. Come to find out, she's a psychopath. So like it's basically Fatal Attraction all over again. This is directed by Deon Taylor, aka the director of Meet the Blacks 1 and Meet the Blacks 2.
Oh my, such a good pedigree.
This is from the writer of Obsessed. I should have known better.
Wait,
I should have known better.
Obsessed, that movie you were talking about a while back, the one with fucking Beyonce?
The one where Ali Lauder gets killed by a chandelier, and then 5 minutes later, the song over the end credits is Crash Into Me by Beyonce.
Oh, man. Oh, you told me all I need to know about this movie. All right, but go on.
This movie makes no fucking sense whatsoever. There's no need for Michael Ealy to be under Hilary Swank's thumb. I'm like, this makes no fucking sense, dog. Like, you could have easily went to the police multiple times and just straight up said what happened and what was going on. There's also no need for Hilary Swank to involve Michael Ealy in this other than to be petty.
Okay. All right.
Like this shit makes no fucking sense. Like this is insane. And what makes it sadder is this is clearly a black movie because they're playing all hip hop and R&B throughout the whole movie. Even the score has fucking trap hi-hats. And I saw and I looked at it and I saw Hillary was a producer in the opening credits. Hilary Swank was a producer on this, and I'm like, oh, baby girl. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Wait, like a real producer, or are we talking like
produced by Hilary Swank?
Oh, word.
I was like, girl,
you have an Academy Award. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I said the same thing. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Whatever you're smoking, let me have some, or give me the name of your dealer, because goddamn. Also, how is Deon Taylor still working? That's my question. So let's move right into.
He asked himself
my next.
Go ahead. What? Deon Taylor asks himself that all the time. How am I still working?
Let's move right into the next Hilary Swank movie I watched, because I watched Cobra Kai over the weekend, the whole 5th season, because it dropped. So I was like, oh, once I finished Cobra Kai, I was like, oh, they got the next Karate Kid up on Netflix? Damn, this is the only one I haven't seen. Let me watch it. It can't be as bad as Karate Kid Part 3. And I was wrong. I was so wrong.
Surprise.
It is somehow worse than Karate Kid Part 3. I was like, this movie is a piece of shit through and through. This is Hilary Swank's first movie. And in this movie, her character Julie, her whole thing is defined by her skipping school, being a awful bitch to her grandma who's really cares for her, is trying to take care of her, or being sexually harassed by her fellow classmates. Like, hey, we're gonna go down to the docks, and you know what happens at the docks? You're mine, Julie. You're mine. Nobody else is gonna have you. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck movie is this?
Like, you're in 10th grade. You should not be talking like this.
I was like, yeah, yo, this is also my man's who's like threatening to rape her is clearly a 35-year-old man trying to play a high schooler.
All right. Let me pop this blue pill, and then we're going down the docks. And you know what happens at the docks? My knees give out.
And I'm like, no, why don't you tell me what the fuck happens at the docks? He kept saying that, like, you know what happens at the docks. I'm like, yo. And at the end of the movie, they do go to the docks. And I was just like, this is what happens at the docks?
Dock shit. With the dock shit.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was like, all right. Also, the villain of this movie is like the script. That's the villain of the movie. It's the script. But Michael Ironside plays the villain, and he's like the coach of this football team called Alpha Elite. If that don't sound like a bunch of rapists, I don't know what the hell is going. This motherfucker would end up in jail. Like, there's just no way. Like, the fact that he gets away with so much shit in broad daylight, I'm like, nah, this motherfucker would have been in jail, dog. For child endangerment, for reckless endangerment, for all types of shit.
All the endangerments.
Like, what?
All of the endangerments.
Yeah, I was just like, this movie makes no fucking sense. There's no reason for it to exist other than, oh, we could slap the name Karate Kid on it and make some fucking money. Yeah, man, this is a cash grab, and it has the only person who came back from the previous three was Pat Morita as Mr. Miyagi. Otherwise, different producers, different writer, different director, like the whole shit was different. This only exists just for a quick payday.
Yeah, I mean, it makes absolute sense. I've never seen the next Karate Kid all the way through. I've just seen bits and pieces because every time I start it, it's like, nah, never mind.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can say is like, yo, it's an hour and like 30 minutes, so like you're in and you're out. But damn, bro, like there's nothing in this motherfucker. Like, and it's weird the music choices because there's a lot of 90s R&B, and I was like, well, at least the soundtrack's good. And then all of a sudden, Julie she'll be listening to 90s R&B vibing, and then next thing she'll be playing like heavy metal, heavy grunge metal, and just like, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this movie, dog?
I don't know. So I can't wait to hear about the third Hilary Swank movie.
Oh no! Well, no more Hilary Swank. That's going to be the connection to my TV shit because we're rolling right into TV now. Cobra Kai season 5. Season 4 and season 5 have basically redeemed Karate Kid 3 because Karate Kid 3 is a piece of shit. And Cobra Kai season 5, they bring back literally everybody from Karate Kid 3, and I was just like, oh, 3 was worth it. If you guys can redeem 3, bring back Hilary Swank in season 6 and redeem that fucking piece of shit because, like, yo, listen, Hilary, if you're making Fatale, you ain't doing shit. So you might as well come back and do fucking Cobra Kai season 6.
I think the last thing I saw Hilary Swank in was The Hunt.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, you've never seen The Hunt?
No.
Oh man, we got you.
Oh, you're talking about the one with Betty Gilpin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the last thing I saw Hilary Swank in.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Hilary Swank though. I still smash, you know.
I mean, that's got nothing to do with the price of tea in China.
All right, but yeah, Cobra Kai season 5. This show, season 5 has finally plateaued because for the first 4 seasons, every season managed to be better than what came before. And this one, I'm just like, this is just as good as everything that's came before. I don't think it's better, but it's just as good. And I can't believe a legacy sequel is this good and manages to do this much character work, put some thought into and emotion into the character work. Guys, I like, there's no excuses now. Like, if Cobra Kai can be this good, there's literally no excuses.
A legacy sequel that started off on fucking YouTube
and has some of the best fight choreography I've ever seen. And the fights are part of the fucking storytelling. That's what's amazing. And you're invested, and the fights are shot where you can see them, and it's clearly the actors throwing the punches, landing the punches, taking the hits, getting thrown through fucking glass plate windows, getting cut up. Like, this shit is like, man, I cannot wait for Cobra Kai season 6 if Netflix renews it. I hope they renew it.
I mean, honestly, like, before I actually watched Cobra Kai, right, for the first season, I was like, what is this bullshit? Right? Like, I had no faith that it was going to be any good. And I drank the Kool-Aid, man. I drank the fucking Kool-Aid. I still have to watch season 4 and, you know, catch to get to 5. But it's a guilty pleasure, right? But it's not a guilty pleasure because it's actually good. It's better than the source material it comes from.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, I thought the first 2 Karate Kid movies are great fucking films, and somehow Cobra Kai has surpassed those.
And I love how they reframe fucking Daniel's character, right? Where in, like, Cobra Kai, from Johnny's point of view, was like, no, you're the bad dude, man. You tried to fucking steal my girlfriend, and, like, yada yada yada. Like, I love how it reframes the original movies, you know?
Well, I mean, even the character arcs for when both Johnny and what's Ralph Macchio's name? Daniel.
Yeah.
Or where Daniel and Ralph and Johnny start off in the show and where they are now, I'm just like, that's beautiful character arcs. Like, they've both grown up. They both are like, they're trying to do right by themselves.
They're trying to be better men.
And even, that's what I love. There's a scene in this season where they're trying to get into a tournament, and Johnny's like, yo, listen, if I could change and if Daniel can change, it's possible for you to change and be a good person. Like, who would have thought both of us would be standing here together co-running a dojo? Because they're friends now, and they run a dojo because, and like, yo, I feel bad because these 2 guys all season are just getting shitted on. Because, yo, Kreese is a piece of shit, but Silver, Silver, I was just like, oh boy. And I feel bad because Silver, when Kreese went to Silver, is like, yo, I need your help. Silver's like, nah, man, like, I'm running my company. I'm not even in that anymore. And then Kreese corrupted Silver and turned Silver worse than him.
Yo, I got to get back into that. I got to get back into this shit. I gotta get back to this shit.
This season ends on a cliffhanger where I'm just like, oh no. I was like, oh no, oh no.
All right, I gotta get back to it. This is
because the cop goes to Johnny and Daniel. He's like, you guys didn't hear the news? And they both look at each other like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then guess who's in the season as the third sensei in addition to Johnny and Daniel?
Who?
Chosen.
What do you mean Chosen? The rapper?
Chosen. From 2.
Oh!
Yeah, Chosen's a good guy now, and he's helping Danny and Johnny this entire season.
I gotta get back in.
And then guess who else shows up? Guess who else shows up?
It's like the fucking Wu-Tang. And guess who else shows up?
Guess who else shows up? Mike Barnes from part 3.
Oh, so every fucking body.
And there's a part where Danny's wife goes back to their hometown and she meets up with her best friend, and her best friend ends up being Danny's love interest from part 3. And you find out Danny and his wife got together because of her. Yeah, nigga. Yeah. So I'm just like, yo, listen. Even Elizabeth Shue came back for season 3. Like, if Elizabeth Shue came back, there's like Hillary. You ain't doing shit. You did Fatale. We need Julie back in Cobra Kai season 6.
All right, there we go. It's out there. Hillary Swank,
this is
we
what
know
I'm
you're
talking
listening.
about. Like, you can do fan service, but earn it
Do
and
it right.
write it
Do
well.
it right. Do it right.
And make it character driven.
Like,
So
you can
Cobra
make
Kai
it organic.
Season 5.
If they can make a sequel to Top Gun, right? You can do anything. Anything is possible.
Oh yeah, once we get to trailer talk, we gotta talk about that Tom Cruise shit. Nigga crazy.
Which one? This the shit that went on the plane?
Yeah, the plane.
Yeah, fucking Tom. We don't deserve you, Tom. America doesn't deserve you.
So there's one episode left of Primal season 2, and somehow this season is crazier. It's more experimental. It is fucking more violent, if you could believe it or not. There's some of it where I'm just like, Gendy, calm down, bro. You don't need to be this violent, but it's more moving too.
I still have yet to watch one single episode of Primal.
What?
Yeah, man.
All right. There's one episode left of this season. I'm not gonna say anything else because, like, oh my god,
so
one of the best shows on fucking TV.
All right. So I mean, it keeps on showing up in my feed. Is like, Jeff, if you like this, you're gonna love this. It's like, all right, but I got so much other stuff. But okay.
Harley Quinn, I've been loving this season. Really picked up in this back half, and it's been very good. It's been paying off the first half of the season. So they got renewed for a season 4. We got one episode left. Oh man, I cannot wait to see how this is gonna wrap up. Like, I don't want to get too into it just because you need to see it, but like,
you can do what you need to do if you want to talk about it.
You know what? I will do it next week just because I want to keep it moving and get to yours. And Amazon, they had A League of Their Own, the TV show. I remember the last episode I talked about the first episode. Right. I managed to get through the whole show, and this show is pretty fucking fantastic.
Okay, I mean, I loved what I saw in the trailer.
Like, it's basically about lesbian women and trans women, and it's just showing how they had to deal with that in the 50s. But it still has the stakes of the baseball games in there too, but you're invested in the women themselves as well. Right.
All right, cool. And like before we move on, I just want to make one statement. So Amazon canceled Paper Girls. Good. But I saw a comment online that someone was like, "Oh, all these streaming services hate lesbian and gay people," and I'm like, "But did you see A League of Their Own? Because I mean, that's pretty much just a gay show. So
yeah.
You shut the fuck up because you're mad because a bad show was canceled."
Yeah, I got nothing to add. Like, listen, A League of Their Own, as soon as I finished it, I wanted to watch the movie because I haven't seen the movie since I was a kid. And the movie got taken off of Amazon. I was like, so y'all paid all this money for this fucking show, and guys can't even hold on to the streaming rights for the fucking movie. Makes no fucking
so where
sense.
Is it?
What?
I mean, where is it? Where like what streaming service?
It's not streaming anywhere right now.
Oh, word?
This is why I say all the shit that you love, buy it, because the streaming shit is like the Wild West. You have the rights 1 minute, and then the next month you don't have the rights, and who knows where it'll land or if it even will land anywhere.
Right. That's why I always panic when it says movies that are leaving this month or whatever like that. I was like, all right, even though I've seen this movie 15 times, I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to see it again.
That's how
let me watch it.
That's how I ended up watching Fatale.
Yo, you watch Fatale on a fire sale.
That's how I watch
Everything
Alex
must go.
Ross. That's how I watch Alex Ross. This is like Alex Ross is leaving. I was like, all right, let me watch this shit. I want to get into the patient. The patient is insane. These first 3 or 4 episodes have been fucking just white bare knuckle half-hour television done right from the creators of The Americans. This shit is insane. Stars Domhnall Gleeson and Steve Carell.
Right, that's the hostage situation one, right?
Yep.
I've been meaning to. I've been hearing nothing but great things about that, so I want to start it.
Yeah, man, it's been fucking nuts. But it's so well written and so well done. Like I'm. The new episode dropped today, and as soon as we are done recording and I finish up doing some other things, like I can't wait to watch this week's episode.
Okay, all right,
and
very cool.
Finally, because I'll save Reservation Dogs for next week. Finally, I guess we should talk about this together because I'm pretty sure you've seen it. The first 2, I've only watched the first 2 episodes, and I'm gonna leave it at that because I wasn't too impressed with it. Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power on Amazon.
I actually haven't watched it yet. I've been having so much fun being angry at all of the white fanboys who are mad at the representation that I haven't actually watched the show.
Yeah, man.
But go ahead.
You know how Lord of the Rings was like accessible? So like somebody who's not well versed in Tolkien like me just walked in off the street on a whim with my brother and my mom, and all 3 of us had our minds blown out of the back of our fucking skulls. You need to be well versed in Tolkien.
So you need to know, like, so you need to be one of those motherfuckers who read the Silmarillion.
Yeah, and this is basically the prologue as a TV show.
All right. Well, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, man, because it starts off with the 2 trees, and I was just like, oh shit, we're starting here. And they talk about Morgoth, and Morgoth is Sauron's boss, basically. Like, he was the first Dark Lord, and he's like the most powerful evil in Middle-earth. Like, Sauron draws his power from Morgoth. They just gloss over that shit. Like, Morgoth's there, and then he's gone, never mentioned again.
Oh.
Like, he destroys the 2 trees, and then he's gone. Because my thing is, when they announced this show, I was just like, when they said they're doing the second age, I'm like, why don't we do the first age? Because there's a lot of shit in the first age that would be cool. And there's something called the lamps. The 2 lamps of Middle-earth, and they're giant, like, lamps. And they're on these pedestals. One's white, and it represents the moon and night. The other one is yellow and represents the sun in the daytime. And those lamps are what give light to Middle-earth. The lamps are destroyed, and that's what ends the first age. And the lamps are destroyed by Morgoth. So when the lamps are destroyed, they take the seeds from the lamps and they plant them. So the lamps become trees, and the trees then illuminate Middle-earth. So when I saw the trees, I was like, "Oh, this is dope. We're gonna get into like Morgoth and shit like that." No, they just gloss over
it. It already seems like a lot. You know, it already seems like you have to be a fan.
Yeah, because they're throwing so many characters at you and talking about so much shit, and I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know who you're talking about here's where they fucked up. They made Morgoth and Sauron look too similar because right after Morgoth destroys the trees, we get into Sauron, and Sauron looks exactly like Morgoth. And I was like, is that? And they say Sauron, and I'm just like, okay, but what happened to Morgoth? And they never bring up Morgoth again. They just talk about Sauron and how they need to kill Sauron.
Okay.
Yeah, and you spend the whole first 2 episodes with Galadriel. She's the best character, and Galadriel's being doubted. She's like, nobody believes Galadriel. Everybody thinks she's a bitch because Sauron is now a myth. He doesn't exist, and yada yada. We gotta stop hunting Sauron, and yada yada yada. You have these hobbits where I'm just like, I don't care. These hobbits find, I think, a dude crashes from the sky and falls out of the sky, and I'm pretty sure that dude is Gandalf, but they haven't revealed it in the first 2 episodes. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's Gandalf.
Right.
Because that's how the wizards came to Earth. They were angels who fell from the sky.
Oh man, it seems very heady. It seems like it seems like they are leaning heavy into the fandom, but like of the actual books, the fandom of the books, and not the fandom of the movies.
And that's where they fucked up, because I will get whatever you. Even the Hobbit trilogy, like as bad as the Hobbit trilogy is, you don't have to see Lord of the Rings or know about Tolkien to understand those movies. Same thing with Lord of the Rings. You could go into those movies and be okay. This shit, you need to be well versed. And I was just like, yo, okay. And then most of it, I was like, this is kind of boring. I don't care. Like, there's a whole subplot of Elrond trying to regain his friend who's a dwarf, because this dwarf is pissed at him because he missed his wedding and missed the birth of his children. I'm just like, really? We're doing this shit, dude? Seriously?
See, honestly, what you're saying about this is how I'm starting to feel about House of the Dragon. Right?
Well, hold on to that.
Okay. All right.
Because I haven't seen House of the Dragon. I want to hear you talk about House of the Dragon. And I'm not going to watch House of the Dragon. Because you know what? After watching these first 2 episodes of Lord of the Rings, I'm just like, you know what? I'm good. I don't give a fuck. I pulled out. I haven't. This week, episode 4 is going to drop. I haven't watched episode 3. I'm not going to. Like, I'm done. You guys spent $1 billion on something that's a little boring and just, it might as well be fucking gobbledygook to me. Because I was just like, I don't know. I'm not really invested. Yeah, I'll say this. It is beautiful, like, to look at. Like, the production value is better than the Hobbit movies. It's not on the level of Lord of the Rings, but it's better than the Hobbit. It looks beautiful. The set design's great. The acting's great. Like, everything's great except for the score. Like, the score sounds like some generic fantasy shit.
Yeah, I mean, of course it's going to look great. They spent $1 billion on it, but you know, they should have started with the writing. You know, they should have made an interesting show, and maybe it'll get better. I won't know, because I was barely interested in watching it before, and now actually hearing you, like, who is you're a fan of Jackson's trilogy, right? You are a fan of The Hobbit, and the fact that you're talking about it this way, my interest is even less now.
Yeah, because you know what? My brother's girlfriend is really well versed in Tolkien, and even she was like, yeah, I like it, but it's not good, and I understand why. And she pointed to me and my brother. She's like, I understand why you two don't like it, because it might as well be French to you guys.
Right, so there you go.
Look, it already got a season 2. And I understand why I got a season 2, because you guys spent $1 billion, so you got to save face. But I'd be surprised if this went past a season 2.
I mean, they're probably gonna have to do a major course correction to get into season 2.
Well, these guys are first time the showrunners. They're first time writers and first time showrunners. Like, these guys were unknown. They were like just plucked by Amazon.
How the fuck does that happen?
There's a whole article. I didn't read it. I just saw the headline. I was just like, yeah, that makes sense.
So, are they in the industry at all?
I mean, now they are.
Before,
I gotta read the article. I told you I didn't read the article.
No, I'm just like, it's like, how do you, like, it's amazing to me that how do you do nothing and get the most expensive thing ever?
You go, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like I know you don't know. It's just I need to know, because it's
J.J. Abrams just had his passion project canceled at HBO Max because it was too expensive. So
Wow. So all these streamers are just fucking up, just in different ways.
I mean, I sent you that tweet earlier. That tweet where the executive at HBO Max and Discovery Plus says, like, yeah, this shit's not working. It's just not working, period. Like, we're fucking up.
Yeah, they are. But we've been telling them that for the last year and a half.
So, I mean...
Not like they listen.
Yeah. All right, Jeff, let's get into what you watched.
All right. Let's start with a movie that I just kind of stumbled upon. It's I don't want to call it low budget, but it's a mid budget film called Asking for It. All right. Here's the log line. After a small town waitress is sexually assaulted after a date with her old friend, she befriends a mysterious stranger who introduces her to an all-female gang. So this sexual assault happens. This girl gang goes around and just fucks shit up for the patriarchy. And it is not very good at all, this movie. The thing about it is, which is hilarious to me, is that it is not only produced by Ezra Miller.
Oh boy.
He's a main character in there playing what is tantamount to a proud boy.
Well, I mean, if they weren't gender fluid, I wouldn't be surprised if they were a white supremacist, to be quite honest with you.
Right. I mean, and honestly, sexuality has nothing to do with white pride. You can have a dingle or a dangle, and you can still hate niggers. Yeah. But yeah, this movie is beautifully shot, especially for something with this low a budget. But the acting is horrible. The story, it just goes off the fucking rails. But mostly I want to talk about the director and writer, Eamon O'Rourke. He, in New York, a couple of, before this movie came out, he assaulted a trans person, in a bar on some male white privilege shit, right? And I'm like, so this dude wrote a woke movie, and he's going around on some fuckboy shit. And then I started just thinking about Eamon O'Rourke has found a what I now have coined as the nigga loophole. It's a way for these cis male white writers to say all the words they can't say anymore in a movie. And it's it's a part of the character, it's a part of what's the story's going on. So I just found it hilarious that this supposedly woke movie is written and directed by a dude who goes around and beats bitches.
I'm tired, man. I'm so tired. God damn.
So Asking for It.
Great title too.
Right, because she was asking for it. It just seems like you were not the right person to do any of this. That's why I call it the nigga loophole. It's you just want an excuse to say nigga and dyke and all the words that you can't say in polite society anymore. I wrote it in a movie, but the movie's about wokeness, so I can get away with it. It's okay, I see you, Cletus. So Asking for It, watch it or don't watch it. It's not good, but it's got Ezra Miller in it playing a proud boy, and he does it really well.
Asking for it. I guess that's why he's going around assaulting people. He's asking for it. It's why he's creating a sex cult. He's asking for it.
Yeah, you see, look at the way she was breathing. She's breathing all sexy. Moving on from that, I decided to revisit RoboCop 2014.
Ooh.
All right, because I had only watched it once, and it's like, it can't be as bad as I remember it.
You sending shivers down my spine.
Right? And so I was like, because I fuck with Jose Padilla, you know. I fuck with I can't even fucking think of the dude's name. Names are fucking killing me today.
Yeah.
The dude who plays RoboCop,
Joel Kinnaman.
Joel Kinnaman, right? I fucks with Joel Kinnaman. So let me watch this shit.
Gary Oldman's in that motherfucker.
Gary Oldman, fucking
Abby Cornish,
Michael K. Williams.
Who?
Michael K. Williams. What?
Who Williams?
What?
Michael K. Williams?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I forgot he was in that. Yeah, Abby Cornish is in it.
Yeah,
like,
he plays Lewis. He plays, you know. It is a fail. It is like, just like all filmmakers who try to do Paul Verhoeven, they just don't fucking get it. They don't get what makes his movies so special. His movies are special because they're fucking subversive. Right?
And they're always they always have a message underneath of it. You know what I mean?
Right. It's got a clear, he's got a clear political message.
And
right?
not for nothing, the first RoboCop's a fucking satire.
Right, exactly.
And that satire has gotten more and more relevant as the years have gone on, because we've just gotten more and more fucking stupid as a society.
Yeah, it's the thing about this is it's sad and gross, right? Like, seeing Peter Weller blown up in the first RoboCop, I mean, that was, you know, shocking, disheartening, and stuff like that. But after that, the gross factor of the actual RoboCop is minimal. You could never see the inner workings, and here you see Joel Kinnaman's lungs. Fuck, they just got his head and his exposed brain and the lungs just breathing in and out. It's like, this is fucking disturbing as shit.
It's like that cyborg shit.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, this is gross as shit, and it's just so fucking sad. Like, you spend the first, you know, half of the movie, him trying to adjust to being a cyborg, and I'm like, I don't want to see that. I just want to see RoboCop shoot people in the dick and buy things for $1. That's all I want to see.
And take spikes to niggas' necks.
Right? I want a subversive look at capitalism and consumerism in the 80s. I want you to make a comment on shit. Like, and they tried to put the political leaning on it with Samuel Jackson's character playing pretty much any of these pundits on Fox News. It was just like fell flat.
I forgot he was even in that motherfucker.
Right, I had forgotten about all of the talented people who were involved in RoboCop 2014. Like, they brought back the original, like, writing team and everything like that, and it's just not good. Like, it didn't get what makes RoboCop so special. Just like the people who did the remake of fucking Total Recall didn't get it. You know, so there we go. I never have to watch RoboCop 2014 again. I gave it a second chance, a little bit older, a little bit wiser, and it's still a bad fucking movie. Moving on from that, did you see The End of the Road on Netflix, starring Queen Latifah?
I did not. I was going to watch that this weekend, but go ahead and talk about it, because, I don't really give a fuck about missing a Netflix movie, man.
Just watch.
Unless you're Glass Onion. Love you, Ryan.
Yeah. Just watch The Vanishing or Breakdown, which are two far superior movies.
Shout out to Kurt Russell.
If you have not watched Breakdown, go watch that. That reminds you that Kurt Russell is actually an actor. You know?
Yeah.
Like, he was like, he's good. Like, he's good in it. So it's a road trip movie. Queen Latifah, her husband dies. They have to sell the house. The whole entire family's moving to live with her mother in Texas. And they go on this road trip. They run into scary white rednecks. And they also end up with a bag full of cash from a cartel exchange that went wrong, yada yada yada. Now Queen Latifah's got she's on the run with this bag of money. It's not good at all. It is fucking 15 different goddamn movies smashed into one, and none of them are very good, right? And everything you've seen before is in here. There's just so many things in here that don't fucking work, right? For one thing, you spend half the movie dealing with the family's emotional response to losing their father, right? Who died of some reason that I probably ignored a couple of months beforehand, and that's fine. That would be a great movie about this family traveling across the country to their new life while dealing with the pain of their old. That's a great fucking movie, right? Then they decide to put fucking drug lords and neo-Nazis in it and fucking car chases, and then it becomes less of a good movie because you don't get to the action fast enough, right? I know what they're trying to do. They were trying to make us care for this family, but also it shouldn't be 45 minutes into an hour and a half movie.
Oh, Jesus.
Before the actual inciting incident happens.
Oh, Jesus.
Right? And then everybody's making just these horrible decisions. Just dumb decisions that lead to other dumb decisions. There's stupid reveals and like double crosses and shit like that. So I want to point this out. In the beginning of the movie, it mentioned that Queen Latifah, she grew up as a military brat, and like her father trained her to like be a survivalist and shit like that, right? We don't see any of those skills on display, right? So they mention it, and then like there's one scene where she has to sort of fight, but it's like, okay, you made this big deal in the script of her having all of this training from her military father, but yet she is doing nothing with it. So why even put it in there? Why even mention it? You like, it would have been better if she's like, this bitch just knew kung fu. Right? That's what we're dealing with. And I can't even blame it on the director, because the director has done some really good TV work, right? She's been working in the industry for like 30 years. She's got over 90 television credits, right? So, and some of the work has been cinematic. So it's not even the director, it is straight the trash script. So the end of the road, I hate, I'm glad to see black faces on TV and in movies and stuff like that, but also I would like to see quality product, quality movies from these people. So the end of the road, it's on Netflix, so take that as you will. You watch it or don't watch it. It's not good. You won't hate yourself for watching it, but it's like you could see the potential. You could see like there was a better movie in there. They just couldn't find it, but it's Netflix. So moving on from that, we'll go into TV. I've been watching a lot of TV lately. So
same.
So Kevin Can Fuck Himself is back for the second and final season. I love this fucking show. I'm sad that this is going to be the last season, but I get it because there's only so long you can drag this out. So the character, right? So the concept, and so I don't want to ruin anything for anybody who hasn't watched the first season, but the show has pivoted, and now it is exclusively about the main character Allison's exit plan, and the show's about trauma. It's about loss. It's about settling for for life. It's the behind the scenes, pretty much, of all of those dumb sitcoms where the fucking hokey dokey dad or husband is always doing his silly schemes and blah blah blah. It shows how horrible these people actually are in a real world situation. It's if you saw The King of Queens, it's like the best description I can give is imagine if Zack Snyder did The King of Queens. Right? But good. All right? It's like that whole entire grim dark thing. So Kevin can fuck himself. Last season, watch it. So Mike on Hulu, the Mike Tyson documentary. Oh boy, it is good. It is so fucking good, and I didn't want to like it. I didn't want to love it the way I do, just because Hulu fucked Mike Tyson and didn't give him no kind of money for this story.
I mean, he's all right. His strange just hit New Jersey.
Right,
dog.
right. He's all right, but still, like, pay this man his monies. But it is so fucking good, man. It's affecting, especially like the scenes of him growing up and him getting trained by Cuss and shit like that. I got a little teary-eyed. My favorite thing about the show is how beautiful it is, and like I will never get sick of watching Mike Tyson knock motherfuckers out in this show. Right? Because it's beautiful. They do it in fucking slow-mo and shit like that. These dudes are getting rocked. The acting's on point. Like, it's nothing. If you are a Mike Tyson fan, or if you know anything about Mike Tyson's life, none of this is actually new to you. But just seeing it done artfully on screen, I think it's by the guys who did the Wu-Tang show, and it's wonderful. So, if you want like a quality biopic, try this, because like a lot of these biopics, they're trying to gloss over how big an asshole some of your heroes are. This doesn't shy away from that. Moving on from that, we'll move into Mo on Netflix. Mo is what?
I said, ooh, I've been wanting to watch that. How is it?
It is good. It's like it's an edgier Rami.
Because Mo is in Rami, right?
Mo is in Rami, but this is like a hood Rami. It's definitely, the comedy is more mainstream in this than it is in Rami, because like in Rami it's sort of Arab Seinfeld, sort of like it's like the situational type shit. Like it's not funny, ha ha. It's funny awkward. This is funny, ha ha. Some of the moments in here are fucking hilarious, but it gets dark and it gets real. Fucking Mo gets addicted to lean and shit like that.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Because he's from Houston and shit like that. He's really influenced by Houston. Like the show's really influenced by Houston music, like E40 and that type of shit. Is E40 from Houston, right? Yeah. Paul Wall.
Well, no. E40's from the Bay Area.
Right. Oh, so like Paul Wall, like even Paul Wall is in this show.
Oh shit, he hadn't been around for a minute.
Right. I was like, I was watching that episode. I was like, was that Paul Wall? All right. Yeah. It's good. It's good. It's funny. It's poignant. It's like I said. It's a more hood Rami. So if you get a chance, watch it on Netflix. It's really good. Another Netflix show, which is actually a port over from YouTube. That was an Australian show. It's called Super Bro. All right.
What the fuck is that?
It is fucking dumb and hilarious. If you want a dumb, just sort of like turn your brain off type of show, watch this shit. It's about, once again, it's about immigrants who are living in a different country, right? They're living in Australia. It's actually like the creators are two brothers, but in the show they play best friends, but they also play their parents. So it's like it's real weird. It's real sort of out there, and it's just like it's dick and fart humor. But just it's absolutely hilarious because it's dick and fart humor from a group of people we don't usually see dick and fart humor from. And and then there's short episodes, they're 20 minutes. You can tune in and tune out. There's no fucking real story. There's no real through line. It's just funny motherfuckers doing funny things. So Super Bro on Netflix. And I want to end on this because I've watched a whole bunch of other shit, but I gotta keep it moving. I want to talk about Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. I was late to the game on this, right? But I heard chatter. Everyone was talking about it, how it's such a great show, yada yada yada. And I'm like, I had kind of tuned out of Star Trek for a while because I used to be the big Trek fan, but I've been disappointed by the output. Normally, I love this fucking show. It reminds me of like what Trek really was about, It feels to its core what Gene Roddenberry set out to do, and I'm trying. Like, I'm only on episode 4, and it's just like every episode gets better and better and better. The character work is great. I'm glad that we get to see, Uhura finally get some props in this show because like she's one of the main stars. I'm not sure how it honestly fits in the whole entire Star Trek universe because it doesn't really, I don't know if it connects to the J.J. Abrams universe, but then I guess you can call that the retcon version because of the time travel and shit like that. I don't know how it honestly, how the timeline, how everything connects, or if it's considered canon. It's just a really fucking good show. All right. Strange New Worlds would make it worth it for me to have Paramount Plus.
That's crazy you say that because I'm just not interested in that show just because like I already had the prequels I wanted with JJ shit. You know what I'm saying? JJ shit is what got me into Trek because before JJ shit, I was a huge fan of Next Generation because I watched that as a kid. I watched a few seasons of Enterprise before giving up on that, and then I would try to watch Voyager when I can, but Voyager was back in the day when we had an antenna, and you know how antennas work. So
I highly suggest, especially if you like the J.J. Abrams one, this is shot cinematically. It's like one of the best shot Treks.
But
TV
you know
shows.
what, man? I'm good because I got Prodigy. Star Trek Prodigy is amazing. What's it called? About to end next year.
Lower Decks.
Picard.
Right.
And then I got Discovery. Star Trek Discovery is fucking fantastic.
All right, man. Yeah, like, look, I'm not taking anything away from those. It's just like Strange New Worlds actually has rekindled my love of Star Trek.
Fair enough.
You know, so now I'm going to start like, now I'm going to like really jump into Picard. Now I'm excited to really jump into Discovery, because I only watched the first half the first season of Discovery before I tuned out.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Before we move on, have you been keeping up with She-Hulk?
Oh yeah, let me talk about She-Hulk. She-Hulk is getting so much better.
Yes, yeah, that's what I want to say, because I forgot to mention this in my stuff. My only problem with She-Hulk now is two things. One, the men have always have to be written as chauvinistic pigs. I'm just like, can you guys just write a dude just being a dude? What
about the other lawyer dude that works with it? Like he's a good guy.
He's in like 10 minutes of one episode so far.
Right, true.
And my other thing is, whenever She-Hulk is in the offices, it looks bad. It looks like a PS3 cutscene. Like, she just doesn't work in the lawyer offices.
Right. I will give you that. Like, when she's She-Hulk out in the streets or in lower lighting situations, the animation works so much better than when she's in that brightly lit office. I will give you that.
Yeah, because it looks like a PS2 cutscene.
Right. My only thing is, I've loved the cameos. Right, I've loved the Wong's appearance in these 2 episodes. I just hope we don't rely too much on that shit.
I think that's the show. At this point, that's the show, where it's going to be a new character every week that ties into the case that Jen's doing.
Yeah, but like, can we get some?
Yeah, it sucks, but I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
At least it makes sense here more than it did in Multiverse of Madness.
Right. But the show is finally becoming a comedy. Like, I'm actually finally laughing at it. That last episode turned me right around. Like, starting the episode with Wong watching The Sopranos, right? And it's like, all right, I'm here for it. Let's do this. And Madison.
How many Madisons do I know?
Right? I want Madison and Wong to be a thing. I want that to be a show. I would watch that forever.
Oh, my God. Nah, man. There's only I know too many Madisons, and like, you can only be around that type of person for 5 minutes at a time.
I don't know any Madison, so I guess I'm lucky.
Yeah, you are lucky, because goddamn. But yeah, man, She-Hulk has gotten, like you said, it's gotten better. I find it funny that Titania is suing her for her own name.
Right.
Because that's some petty shit.
Yeah.
Because then she could just change it to something else, like her Hulk or female Hulk or whatever the fuck. Like, you can't copy, you can't trademark everything.
Right. But no, I can't wait. I'm like we talked about before, it was shaky starting the show. Yeah. But now I'm into it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into trailer talk.
Roll camera and action.
It's time for some trailer talk.
What are we to talk about?
Let's start with The Little Mermaid. This actually looks
it's
good.
more of a teaser. Yeah, it's more of a teaser than a trailer. It, like I said, my mileage on these live action remakes or whatever, but it does look good.
That first shot of the waves crashing is super impressionistic. I was like, it looks like an impressionistic painting. I was just like, wow, there's some art put into this. And then the underwater stuff looks like they're crafting their own underwater world.
Right. So, I mean, I'll wait until I actually see a trailer, like an actual trailer with some, other stuff in it. But from what I've seen, I'm impressed.
I will say this for all the racists out there. Shut the fuck up. It don't matter. It's a fictional character. I want to personally say, if mermaids looked like Chloe Bailey, I'd be an Olympic backstroke. Like, I'd be doing the backstroke in under 80 seconds. I'd be like Robert Pattinson in The Lighthouse.
So I tweeted this a couple of weeks ago, and I stand by this. If the thing that you love, either movies or television or books, has anything in it that has never existed in the real world, you can't be mad if there are people of color in it as well. You can't be mad at the Lord of the Rings, right, for putting people of color in there when there are also fucking dragons.
Also, they're not.
You can't get mad,
and it's not like they're main characters either. They're new characters. First off, like Galadriel and Elrond are still white, so
right. But it's like if there's the Star Wars, like everyone's talking about, like, they're trying to get woke and stuff like that. You have a movie where there is an 8-foot tall space dog.
Yeah.
With hand grenades and a hand cannon. You can't get mad that there are people of color in it. You can, but then you're a racist.
Speaking of Star Wars, real quick, I want to talk about Andor because Rogue One was re-released in IMAX, and I went to go see it, and they had this 20-minute little featurette before the movie. I'm all in on Andor because they do what Fincher does, which is shoot in real locations or shoot with sets, and then whatever you have to do a green screen, you fill the rest of that shit out.
Yeah, I mean, of all the Star Trek, all the Star Wars stuff, Andor and season 3 of Mandalorian are the things I'm kind of looking forward to. But like everything else they've announced is like, meh.
Yeah,
whatever.
Andor. I'm really impressed by that scene they showed. I'm really impressed by the story they're trying to tell. I'm very, real quick. I'm very impressed by watching again, especially on IMAX. I'm just really impressed that Rogue One exists, just because it's a war movie. It's a dark war movie where everyone's jaded and broken. And one of the main characters who you root for in his opening scene murders an innocent man just so he won't get caught by the Empire and compromise the rebellion. That's insane.
Yeah, the fact that this Rogue One was able to be made is amazing.
Yeah. And you see that
because
confliction
it is so dark. It is.
Ever since, and that's what I love about that movie is like rewatching it. You see that confliction in Cassian the whole movie. Like, yo, I've done so many awful things in the name of the rebellion, and then you get to the end, and everybody's gonna fuck them over on getting the plans, and they're like, you know what? Fuck this. Let's go get the plans.
Right. So,
and it looks like Andor's gonna keep drawing on those gray lines, man.
Good. There's so many stories in the Star Wars universe. I want to see new ones, but also I want, I want some. Give me something different. Give me something new. Come at it a different way.
It's good to see my man Diego Luna again. Like, it's so cool to see Diego Luna, and I like Cassian. Cassian's a good character.
Right.
So
Andor, I'm looking forward to.
Next trailer, let's do the Fablemans.
I mean, fuck it, I think you already said it.
Spielberg put his soul up on screen for all of us to see, and that's pretty fucking brave, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he is. I don't want to use hyperbole, but he's the world's greatest filmmaker.
Yeah, because we're gonna get into one of his movies that got re-released in our main review. There's a shot in this movie where I'm just like, dude, how did you make this movie in less than a year with some of the shots that you're doing? Like, Jesus Christ. And then to have the emotional gut punch where I'm sitting in the parking lot of a movie theater fucking crying.
Yeah, and that's a true artist right there, because all art is pretty much putting yourself out there for the world to see, and Spielberg is doing it literally. I
really hope this isn't his. This is a rumor, so please don't take this as fact. This is rumored to be his final film, and I hope that's not true.
I think because it's such a personal film, like people are automatically going to be like thinking, well, is this Spielberg's last film? Is he done? It's like, look, I don't think Spielberg will tell us when he's done. You know, I think he'll make an announcement, but I think someone who loves cinema so much, I think he'll be making movies until he can't anymore.
Yeah, man, because our rest in peace, Jean-Luc Godard died today. He was 91.
Right.
And this motherfucker was still making movies till he died. Think about that. He was making movies before either of us were born, in like the 1950s and 60s. His most recent movie, Goodbye to Language, was his first 3D movie, and I didn't get to see it, but they're saying like it's one of the most innovative 3D movies ever made because he would fuck with you with the 3D. So you see one image in your left eye with the left lens, and then the other one you would see something else.
Oh shit. Yeah. So I don't think The Fabelmans is going to be Spielberg's last film, but I also think is going to be one of those, like, if it were his last film, he's going out on top.
I mean, come on, man. Clint Eastwood's still making movies, dog. Like,
right. Like, some people got it in them.
Yeah.
You know, like you do what you love until you can't do it anymore.
So, from The Fabelmans, let's go into a trailer that dropped today. I'm one that I've been closely watching since it was announced because I'm a fan of Damien Chazelle. Babylon. Babylon looks like The Wolf of Wall Street set in 1920s Hollywood.
Yeah. I'm here for that. I'm 100%. I love movies about excess.
Yeah.
I want to live that, I want to live that life. I want to be stinking rich and irresponsible.
Listen, I like them to varying degrees, but so far, in my opinion, Damien Chazelle has never made a bad movie. Because to me, Whiplash is a masterpiece, La La Land's a very good movie, and First Man is fucking excellent. So, like,
I still have not seen First Man.
Oh, man. The IMAX scene at the end, just an emotional gut punch.
All right, well, it's on the list. It's moving up the list.
Yeah. So this drops in New York and LA on Christmas because you got to get those awards in, and then everywhere January 6th. I hope when it goes wide in January that Avatar can free up some of those IMAX screens, because watching this trailer, I was like, dog, I want to see this shit in IMAX because it's big. This movie, Paramount is insane for what they're greenlighting, because I'm like, this movie is fucking expensive, and y'all gonna like. But you know what, man? What also is drawing me to this is Brad Pitt looks like he's having the time of his life.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before. I love fucking Brad Pitt, and like when Brad Pitt's having fun, he's great. Like, even though I didn't like Bullet Train, he was having fun in Bullet Train.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he was having the time of his life.
Right. So like, Brad Pitt having fun is one of my favorite subgenres.
Dog, and then the jittery Margot Robbie playing a jittery cokehead was like fucking had me rolling, just rolling.
Yeah, so yeah, this, like, you've been following it for a while. This is my first, this is the first time it's been on my radar, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm here for this. I'm here for this.
Yeah, and that's all I got. I know there's other trailers, I just can't remember any right now.
I want to talk about the Marvel TV show. I want to talk about
Secret Wars and Werewolf by Night, and then I forgot Glass Onion.
All right, so Secret Wars
or Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. It's the Nick Fury TV show that's coming to Disney Plus next year. It looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks like an espionage Marvel show with Skrulls, but you're in love with it. I'm cool with it, and I would be just as excited as you've been, but it's been just so much Marvel. You know what I mean?
Right, it's so much Marvel, but like at least with the Marvel TV shows, I know they'll at least try. You know what I'm saying? They may fail, but 9 times out of 10, a Marvel TV show has really, like, if it doesn't impress me, it at least entertains me, right? And so this looks like Marvel's version of Tinker Tailor. Yeah, I can never pronounce. I can never get the name right.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Yeah.
Look, I mean, the one I'm excited for is Werewolf by Night, because Werewolf by Night looks like an old school 1930s, 1940s grindhouse horror film. And what makes it cool to me is that it's a one-off. It's one like 30, 40-minute piece of TV, and that's it.
So it's only like it's not a series. It's just like a one episode.
It's a Halloween special.
Oh wow! Okay, all right.
Directed. It's Michael Giacchino's directorial debut.
Okay, very cool. I'll let you talk about that because I didn't get a chance to watch the Werewolf by Night trailer.
You should. It's entirely in black and white. It looks like a grindhouse film from the 30s. It's violent. Like, he is Gael Garcia Bernal is the Werewolf by Night. He's the main character, and he's just tearing motherfuckers apart. Like, you see somebody's stomach get cut open.
This is all in the trailer?
Yeah. Werewolf by Night is one of my favorite characters. So to see this done like this, I'm excited. You get a brief glimpse of Man-Thing.
Oh.
And I'm excited that they're bringing Man-Thing in the MCU. Again, DC, you're getting beat to the punch because you guys came out first with Swamp Thing. Everybody knows Swamp Thing. Everybody knows who Swamp Thing is. And y'all getting beat by fucking Man-Thing.
I mean, they did the Swamp Thing show that with...
That don't fucking count. I'm talking about like a fucking movie. But yeah, Man-Thing, somebody had a picture of it on Twitter because it's very brief in the trailer, like very brief. Somebody had a picture in it, and it's staying true to the mythos of Man-Thing, which is when Man-Thing touches you, you burn. This dude is grabbing somebody by the head, and this dude's head looks like it's about to set on fire and explode.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me watch this Werewolf by Night fucking trailer soon. Let's do a search for this shit.
Let's move into our final trailer, which is Glass Onion.
I mean, $450 million.
I mean, look, the first movie was great. It was excellent. Had a stacked cast. Like, everybody brought their A game to that first movie. Mm-hmm. How are you going to tell me that somehow in this trailer that we got, the acting looks like they ramped it up by 10? Like, I was just like, no offense to everybody in that first movie, but everybody in the second movie looks like they're doing 10 times a much better job.
Well, it's sort of like that thing where, all right, well, we can't let the first cat. We got to throw our dicks on the table because we don't want to be compared to that first movie. We want that first movie to be compared to us, right? So that they put the dick in the mashed potatoes.
Well, that's not good because Ryan still has one more to make.
Yeah, so we
still have Knives Out 3, baby.
Yeah, so I mean, here we go. And like, I'm a sucker for a good mystery, you know?
Oh yeah,
like a cleverly done mystery, and that's why that's why Knives Out was so successful, and that's why, like, if this is the genre that Ryan is like in now, you know he's gonna fucking do it.
Well, he still has his Star Wars trilogy. Like, this is my hope. My hope is Ryan, after he finishes Knives Out 3, he'll do his Star Wars trilogy. And once he's finished with that, you know, let him make whatever he wants to make, but I hope every other movie he comes back to Knives Out and gives us another Benoit Blanc mystery.
See,
I hope these guys do it till they can't anymore.
I want a Benoit Blanc crossover with the Brothers Bloom.
Oh, that'd be nuts.
Yeah, right?
But you know what? Benoit would send them to jail, bro, because he would see right through their con. Like, that motherfucker's too smart for them.
Well, then, what I'm saying is I just need a sequel to the Brothers Bloom because I love that fucking movie.
I would like a sequel to Brick. Like, I want to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character,
as an adult?
like, more, yeah, doing, still talking like a fucking hard-boiled detective.
Yeah. I've still used that line whenever I can. I didn't feed him to you to see you get fed. I fed him to you to see him get eaten. I was like, oh, that's some cold-blooded shit.
Nigga, I'm about to go watch Brick again now.
Right?
I want to also, real quick, before we move on, give a shout-out to Rian Johnson, because besides The Last Jedi, almost every movie he's made has been steeped in noir in some way.
Yeah, no, like, he wears his inspirations on his sleeve, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, like there's noir influences and hard-boiled influences in all of his shit. Like, obviously, Brick is a noir. There's noir elements in Brothers Bloom. Definitely noir elements in Brick, like hard-boiled noir elements in Brick.
I wouldn't even call it
I'm not
elements.
Brick, I'm sorry, Looper. I mean, Looper.
Yeah, all right, Looper. All right, and everyone forgets about fucking Looper, right?
Yeah, Looper to me is a futuristic noir.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It is. And the fact that it was the last time fucking Bruce Willis acted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
where he gave a fuck, right?
Yeah, man. And, you know, obviously this is rooted in noir, because noir and mysteries go hand in hand most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. But, you know, I would love to see Ryan get back to his noir roots, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know, he's got $450 million to do a Brick 2 on his own dime.
All right. Well, let's get into the main review.
All right.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The Film Blurds feature film review.
So what do we want to talk about?
Let's start with Jaws.
So
I saw this in both IMAX and 3D.
I only saw it in IMAX. And it hits so much different on the big screen.
Yes. It's been a minute. I've only watched this movie at home. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I've never, when people talk about Jaws, I'm like, yeah, it's a good movie, but I never fully appreciated it.
Until you saw it on the big...
I did.
Yeah.
Yes. The two times I did see it. It's terrifying on a screen. I'm gonna be real with you. There's parts of this where I've seen the movie before, but I'm like, dude, I'm actually very fucking terrified right now.
Right. It's the music, the use of the camera movement, the tension that Spielberg creates. It is ramped up when you're in that fucking theater in front of that huge screen. Like when Quint is telling the story about the Indianapolis, right? I love that story. I've loved it, but I've only seen it. Well, I've only seen that scene on TV, but seeing it on like in IMAX, it was him telling that story is fucking terrifying.
That's the one thing I appreciate more is like how well defined every single character is. Like you get just enough of everybody to understand who they are and to get you invested in them.
Right. Just enough backstory, just enough motivation, just enough where like, okay, I know these people.
I mean, there is, and this is a testament to Spielberg, because there's shots in this I was watching where I'm just like, this motherfucker is doing some next level shit. And this movie came out 40 years ago, where I'm just sitting there with my jaw open. Like, I love that shot of when Brody walks through the little hardware store, and that's a oneer.
Yeah, like, and you don't,
or even the oneer on the boat where the boat where and not Quint's boat, not the Orca, but
Richard Dreyfuss's boat.
No. The boat, the ferry boat.
Oh yeah,
where, the mayor confronts Brody and is like, "Yo, we can't cause a panic." Like, that oneer, is amazing.
Yeah, and like the use of split diopter work.
Yes.
It's
the editing where Brody is looking at the beach and it keeps cutting back and forth, and the way it's edited every time somebody walks past or runs past the camera.
That's why it's the world's first blockbuster. That's why it's the industry's first, for a reason. The only thing, though, is I had never noticed how choppy that last scene was, right when the shark is making his final approach with the gas tank in his mouth. I like on the small screen. I'd never noticed this, but on the big screen, I noticed how sort of it doesn't seem smooth, and it doesn't seem deliberately choppy. It seems like they had to piece it together, because everyone knows the history of Jaws. It was a notoriously difficult shoot. The shark was always malfunctioning, so I don't know how much of the choppiness of that final confrontation is because of circumstance or how much of it was deliberate.
See, that didn't bother me just because, to me, that added to the tension.
Right,
like constant cutting.
Right, it didn't bother me. It's just like something I had never noticed before it was blown up, on the big screen.
Right. This is really fucking like, I get why people say this is a perfect movie, because like, I can't think of one bad thing to say about this. Like, it's crazy that the entire third act of the movie takes place on a fucking boat.
Right.
It's a shark outwitting 3 men.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're watching over the course of 40 minutes, watching these men come together and bond. Because these are 3 men.
Totally different men. Totally different men.
Yeah. And they work as a unit by the end of the movie.
Yeah. Like, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
Like, the second time they try to shoot the barrels into the shark, it was like, yeah, they're getting a rhythm. They know what they're fucking doing now.
Yep. I want to point out one more oneer, which is when Brody and Hooper confront the mayor, and it ends in front of the billboard. Right.
The one with
that is another amazing oneer.
Yeah. I mean, all of Spielberg is on display here. You just have to it's compared to what we've seen in his other works, following this, it's very subtle, but like every Spielbergism is there.
I mean, every shot in this movie is damn near perfect. Every story beat just hits.
Yeah, there's no fat.
I was surprised how fucking violent it is. I'm surprised to see the titties. Like, I saw in IMAX, you see Chrissy's pussy for a little bit.
Right, you never saw that on TV? You never paused it? I saw that shit. But yeah, this was was this PG?
PG.
Yeah, it's PG. It's PG.
If this came out today, this would not be PG, bro. This would be close to. This probably re-rated R.
Yeah, this is us. I wouldn't call it a hard R, but it would definitely be a soft R.
Yeah. As far as the 3D goes, I think the transfer was pretty fucking spectacular. It wasn't like, it's not the 3D I like. And the 3D I like is when the shit comes at you. Like, I like the gimmicky 3D. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This was that depth of field 3D where you could reach in and feel, and it feels tactile, like the water, like everything. Also, yeah. Oh man, before we move on, all the scenes at dusk or at night, holy shit, man. How did they pull that off? Because that shit is like, I remember watching it on DVD and I'm like, I can't see shit. But seeing it in IMAX and in 3D, I'm like, this is crazily lit, like at dusk and at night. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Because they fucking cared, man. They had to do, like, making movies in the 70s, right? Or the 70s and 80s. It's almost like indie filmmaking, right? It's just like, we just gotta fucking get it done. It's like, by any means necessary.
True. All right, let's move on to Me Time. A huge step down.
Yeah. Look, I like Mark Wahlberg. I am growing to really like Kevin Hart. Seeing them together should have been a slam dunk.
Because their chemistry is amazing.
Right. I believe that they're friends in this movie. Like 100%. Yes.
It's just, Kevin Hart has now fallen into the trap that Adam Sandler had fallen in for a little bit when he was making his Netflix movies.
His vacation,
you're just
vacation
like,
time.
Yeah, you were just punching down. You're making the worst possible product. Like, I haven't seen Parenthood or Fatherhood. I haven't seen it. I won't. Yeah. Just because between this and Man from Toronto, I'm like, yo, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself, honestly.
But then you get True Story, right? Which is excellent. You know? I don't get it. This movie feels right at home in 1998.
Yeah, this is when people talk about Netflix and shit on Netflix, and it's not just us, because everybody does it. And when people talk shit about Netflix, it's because of shit like this.
Yeah, and especially like because we got Vacation Friends last year, right?
On Hulu.
On Hulu, Vacation Friends does that throwback adult comedy so much fucking better than this. And they're same genetics, right? They're that throwback late 2000s American Pie adult comedy type shit, right? Like, this isn't even, Me Time's not even as good as the Hangover movies. And the Hangover movies were throwbacks. They do not age well.
And those movies have not aged well. They're like, you watch them shits now, they're not funny.
Right. They're amusing at best. Best.
Fucking everybody should be ashamed of this shit. Like, stop.
I will say, all right, I loved those fucking tracksuits. I loved them so much, I had to look up who made them. And so, if anybody out there from Rich Fresh wants to give me one of those fucking tracksuits that they're rocking, or give us one of those tracksuits, one for each of us, I would be obliged, because the wardrobe in this movie is the best thing about it.
Yeah. You
know? But yeah, it is what it is. That movie is, I don't know. I can't even say watch it.
I would say don't watch it.
It exists.
I would like to give Mark Wahlberg a shout out, because Wahlburgers are delicious.
All right,
I had it for the first time a couple of weeks ago. I was like, damn, this good ass burger.
All right. So
felt like Arsenio Hall, where he's like, this is some good ass cheese. I was like, damn, this is a good ass burger.
Yeah, so Me Time, another Netflix weak ejaculation.
All right, let's move on to Samaritan. Look, it's not the worst thing I've seen, and it ain't the best thing I've seen, but for a streaming movie, about Sylvester Stallone being a superhero, you could do so much worse. Like, for what it is, I was like, this is perfectly entertaining. It's perfectly fine.
Right? And I wouldn't be mad at a sequel for this. I really liked it's amazing, like halfway, like not even halfway through the movie, when the twist, like when you I thought of, like, you know what would be cool if, and then the twist happens, is like, oh shit, that's what I thought it was gonna be.
I'm gonna be real, I didn't see that shit coming.
I saw that shit coming like 20 minutes before. It's like, you know what would be cool is, that'd be nice to see, and they did it, and I'm like, okay, this movie kind of has me. The character motivations for the bad guys are dumb.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I hate that. I'm getting tired of the one bad guy, the one kid, the kid who just looks evil because he pops up and everything and is just evil.
Oh, yeah, I know. He was from Kings of Summer and fucking Ender's Game. He played the asshole in Ender's Game. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just the evil prick because he looks like an evil prick.
He looks like an asshole. It looks like a dick.
Like he has that goblin face.
Right, he's got a rat face. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sure you're a wonderful guy. You love puppies and sunsets, and you give to the homeless, but you look fucking like I just want to punch you in the fucking face.
You look evil, bro.
You got a very punchable face.
Also, maybe tell your agent and you want to play a good guy, so that way,
Yeah.
we won't be saying this shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still say it. I would say like, oh,
yeah, he still looks like an evil goblin, like
right, like, oh, remember when that one scene where he ran into that building and rescued all those babies? Oh, I still wanted to kick him in the dick. Oh, something about that face. But Samaritan, I expected much less.
Yeah, so did I. I thought it was going to be a piece of shit, and it greatly exceeded my expectations. So
right. So Samaritan, give it a watch. Hopefully, it'll, like, if they do get a sequel, it'll be better, because I kind of want to see, after the reveal in the movie, I want to see how Sylvester Stallone's character moves through this new world.
Two more things before we move on. First is, shout out to Sly, because he looked invested in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
shout out to him for giving the shit.
He was dialed into this. It's like, okay, you're here, man. And I haven't seen Stallone here in a while,
since Creed 2.
Right. Because he wasn't even dialed in that last Rambo fucking movie. Oh no. Right.
And I'd also like to give a shout out to the action. The action for a streaming movie, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Right, the last scene inside the warehouse, I was like, yo, this hits hard. But also, if I'm a henchman, right, and I see all this coming, why don't you just fucking run away? Like, do you think you're gonna be the one dude? The one guy.
I think about that all the time during fight scenes when dudes are getting their asses beat, and then, like, there's always that one dude left. If I'm that one dude left, I'm gonna be like, fuck this.
It's like, dude, you have asthma and plantar fasciitis. You not taking this dude down. So just go home, eat a sandwich.
Yeah, man. Loyalty won't get you that far.
Right? And he's going after your boss.
So let's talk about Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul.
I mean, I'm going to be honest about it. I got halfway through and fell asleep.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be funnier than what it was.
Right.
It has that stereotypical ambiguous indie ending. I'm tired of that with indie movies. I'm like, just please, can you just give me a definitive answer for once and end your fucking movie?
It's the A24 syndrome.
You know, I expected more from all the talent involved, and this shit was not that funny. The drama wasn't that dramatic. Like, I see this shit every day. You know what I mean? Like, and then the this is why I don't like mega churches. Like, people get suckered into mega churches. I'm just like, yo, you guys understand you're just funding their lifestyle.
Right. This is a business. Like,
Yeah.
this is not religion. Like, this is you're funding you're funding a corporation.
Like that's the one thing I like about this movie is like they pretty much are telling you like, yo, these super churches are just con artists, bro. You think you're giving to the Lord, you're giving to their fucking slush fund.
Right. Like I said, I fell asleep halfway through, and the first half, it was like you said, it wasn't funny enough to be a straight up comedy, and there's not enough drama in it to be considered a drama. It's just sort of like the trailer sold us something different.
Yeah. I want to say the funniest part in this movie was when Sterling K. Brown was giving his speech to his 5 parishioners, and then he just started stripping down naked. That shit was hilarious.
I mean, Sterling K. Brown, I think he should do more comedy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, definitely. Like, he's got the fucking chops. You know, like, isn't he on? Doesn't he do voice work for like Solar Opposites?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I mean, he needs to do more comedy work just because, bro, you were on what's the name of that show? This Is Us for like 6 years. Like, I know you're ready to like cut loose.
Right, to let go. Yeah.
So, yeah, honk for Jesus, save your soul.
It's
skip
already,
it, to be honest.
It's already on streaming, isn't it?
Yeah. So
that'll tell you all you need to know.
Let's move into Pinocchio. Robert Zemeckis.
I didn't know Pinocchio was on the list.
Yeah, man.
Oh shit! No, I didn't watch it. Did you?
All right, so we'll save it for next week.
Yeah, I watched. Well, yeah, I didn't watch that shit.
All right, so then let's move into our final movie, which is Barbarian.
Fuck. So when I was having that conversation with my friend this weekend, right, about horror movies, I hadn't seen Barbarian. So every once in a while, an American horror movie will come out that'll be like, okay, this is it.
Yeah, man. I like it. I just don't like it as much as everybody else, and I think that was the problem with me going into this. Is like everybody kept hyping this up to be like the next coming. Everybody's like, "Oh, Barbarian! It's a crazy ass movie. Go in unspoiled," and I'll stand by that. Go in unspoiled, but like it is not as good as everybody made it out to be. It has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm just like, yo, y'all need to calm down.
See, the reason I love this movie is because it's movies I've seen before done well, right? I can't talk too much about it without spoiling it, but once you see it, you'll know you've seen movies just like this. It's just this was artfully done, and the scenes, the claustrophobic scenes and the scenes in total darkness, they were really fucking effective.
Yeah, Zach Kreger is a great fucking filmmaker. I'll tell you that. Like, there's stuff in this where just as a filmmaker, I was impressed. But however, as a writer and as the writing is, I was just like, this is stupid. The main girl, I was like, this is one of the dumbest main characters ever.
I mean, it's when she discovers the stuff in the basement,
the one room, the first room,
room,
yeah,
right. Like, I'm out. Like,
yes,
I'm done.
Yes,
like I got to go. Right. Like,
yes.
Like, burn the fucking house down. I got to go. Like, let's talk about those fucking.
And then
cops
once that nigga disappears. Like, that's my problem. Is like, once that nigga disappears and you discover there's more,
right?
Why would you keep going? At that point, you get the fuck out of there.
Right. It's like, yo, it's his dumbass fault for doing some Scooby-Doo exploration
shit. Yeah.
Some Scooby-Doo shit. Well, let's investigate.
Yeah.
Like, nah, motherfucker, let the cops investigate. But let's talk about the cops in this. I hated the cops.
But that's cops in real life, bro.
I know. And like
cops I've been in situations and I've seen situations where people will literally ask cops for help, like, please help me. And they're just like, if you don't get away from me, I will shoot you or arrest you.
Yeah, so like there was some straight Detroit, some fucking 8 Mile cops, but yeah, so like we can't really talk about this movie too much without spoiling a lot of what makes it special.
You know what really pissed me off too is like when she goes on her job interview and she tells that person, "Oh yeah, this is where I'm staying." She's like, "Yo, you shouldn't stay there." She's like, "Bitch, get the fuck out of there," and she keeps cutting her off on why she should get out of there, and I'm just like,
but it's an Airbnb and it's been safe and I got a roommate. It's like, but you saw all the other houses around there.
Jeff, think about it. Like, I get it. At night, you can't see all that shit, but if I'm walking out first thing in the morning and I look around and I see that shit, I'm bringing all my shit with me. I'm not even supposed to be there.
Right.
Just because the shit got double booked. I'd be like, all right, let me put all my shit in my car. And after this job interview,
like,
I'm going to fuck off to back where I came from.
It's like, bitch, you already have the job. You had the job. So leave. Leave the house.
Yes.
Leave the house.
Yes. And I would text homeboy my number. I'd be like, here's my number. Hit me up sometime.
Hey, let's smash.
I feel uncomfortable. Right. I feel uncomfortable in that neighborhood. Hit me up.
I love Justin Long in this, and all I'm gonna say is that sometimes in some situations, when someone tries to pop a titty in your mouth, sometimes you just gotta just take the titty.
I want to say, shout out to him for playing an uber scumbag. Like, as soon as it got like 5 minutes in, I was just like, oh, that nigga did it just because he was such a douchebag.
Oh yeah.
And then
it's like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That nigga did it. And then when you get to the bar and he's like, his friend was like talking to him and he kept going. I was just like, ugh. Like, I wanted to crawl out of my skin.
And then when he calls her, and I'm just like, oh, what do you do?
Yo, the worst, like, me and my brother, we walked out of it. I was just like, I feel like his friend was setting him up just to, like, not video, like, not record it, but just to get him to admit it.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that, like, because the way he was, like, getting him to open up and to admit, I was like, this nigga's setting you up to admit that you did it.
Right. This is some, like, Linda Tripp shit. You know, this is some, like, so tell me more about your relationship with the president?
But the thing is, you could tell he wasn't recording it, but he knows his boy and was trying to, like, yo,
so,
you know.
But like, like, I know you didn't do that, but you did that shit, right? Yeah, you did that shit.
It's like like the situation I'll put it in is like, it's me and you at a bar, Jeff. I did some crazy shit. I'm not really admitting to it, and I know you're not recording it, but then you get me to be like, yo, Brandon, but tell me, and you get me to open up, and you're just sitting there like,
you dirty motherfucker.
I knew it. Like, that nigga was setting him up for his own enjoyment.
Right. Yep. So I thoroughly enjoyed Barbarian. It's the impending sense of dread, and more than the scares. Because there's only a few real jump scares in the thing, and they're effective, right? But it's more like the tension throughout.
I want to say this, normies, please beware. If you're a normie who just likes going to see movies, do not see this. This is one of the most fucked up movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, but the thing is, the thing is, don't. If you are a normal person, don't go see this. But this is, like I said, this is a movie I have seen done before, just done more effectively, right? So, like, to me, it's not all that weird. You know what I'm saying? But to a regular person, it's like, you might blow your brains out afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. If you're a cinephile, sure, because you've seen some shit.
Right.
But if you're just a normal person going out to see a movie, or even worse, if you're on a date, because horror movies always make date movies, do not take your date to see this fucking movie.
If this is your first date, you are a sociopath.
Yeah, no, because you might not know what you're getting into. You might see, oh, it's a horror movie. So that'll fuck up your night.
If you're listening to this show, we are telling you now, if you go see this movie on a first date, you're a sociopath. You have been warned.
I'm not going to say that because, again, some people, there's still a lot of people who are just like, oh, let's just go see a horror movie. And like, yo, listen, I'm begging you, don't go see something else.
This is not a panty dropper horror movie. This is not.
You're better off taking... You're better, like, I get it, because horror movies do make good date movies. And you are better off taking your date to see X before this.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. X is a panty dropper horror movie. Barbarian is not. It is not.
So, we'll and next episode, we're coming back hard. We got more reviews for you. Like, we got some big ones. And, that is episode 58.
Peace.
We're the Film Blurs. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best.
It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFireXL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.